All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 52 of Anime Club After Dark's WTF series. A chance for us to get together live to talk about things outside the anime world that have been on our minds recently and to answer your questions from Discord. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai. And joining me tonight, it is just our Magfester Supreme Chinoda.
Hello, hello. How does everyone do?
uh, you know what? I was going to do the Discord questions first. But since it's brought up in your nickname for yourself this episode, how was MagFest?
Buddy, I had the time of my life. Oh my goodness. It was fun. No, it was extremely fun. I had a great time. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So before we do get into it, there are a couple of things I do want to mention. First of all, this is the very first WTF of 2025, so yay! Welcome in, everybody. I hope you have a great time here. At the very end of last year, we were able to meet one of our big goals for 2024, and that was to get our YouTube channel monetized. So we were able to do that. Thank you, everyone who helped us do that. Our big goal for this year, I think, is going to be to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which I think is a very
Yeah.
attainable goal. I think it's a very, very attainable goal.
I think at the
So
rate of growth we're doing, we'll get there.
yeah. But since our YouTube channel is now monetized, I've mentioned it before on a couple of streams that we did a few weeks ago. And I also mentioned it on a recent episode of the Anime Club After Dark podcast that since we are monetized, we now have channel memberships open. We have super chats available, super thanks available, all those great things. But we have made an effort since we aren't able currently to offer a whole lot of stuff for membership. We've made our channel memberships really, really cheap. We've made them cheaper than a Twitch subscription. It's $3 to become a channel member, and with that, you get access to a special role in our Discord server. If you are already part of it, there's a link to it down below. As long as you're 18 plus, you're more than welcome to join us there. You also get access to special Anime Club After Dark emotes. And you get a special badge next to your name in our live streams and in channel or in video comments. So that's all we're able to offer at the moment. We do hope. So thankful, Alex Fix there. Listen, my hair is an ongoing disaster. Um, I did get it cut recently, so it's a little less long than it was a few months ago. But yeah, thank you everyone that helped us get monetized. And if you do want to help us out that way, you're obviously not obligated to, but we appreciate the hell out of you if you do choose to become a channel member or send us super chats. Um,
Really.
and pretty much any money we make from it is going to, improve the podcast or improve our equipment or stuff like that. Um, what else? Oh, someone, before we get into the Discord questions, someone just a few minutes ago on our Discord server posted in there a question.
Oh
Next
no.
live streaming a game when? It's a great question because the last few weeks I have not live streamed anything. Um, I am waiting until I build my new PC, and the very last part I need came in the mail today.
Oh shit, really? It finally came in?
My case fans were the last thing I was waiting on, and they came in today. So this weekend I will probably be building my new PC. So expect new game streams probably next week, either Wednesday or Saturday, or maybe both.
Okay,
I don't
but
know.
Alex building new PC video when?
I'm not. I cannot film myself building this PC. No, not at
Not
all.
gonna do what John did.
No. No, well, number one, I could set my camera up and stuff to do that, but I don't have the space anywhere to do that. To have a space to build my PC and have like a camera set up,
Fair
because
enough.
I'd have to use my laptop, and then I just don't have anywhere. The space that I'm going to be building my PC on is just big enough to be building the PC on. Um,
Don't
I would
judge my
like
poor
to.
grammar.
I would like to, but I won't be able to. But expect new live streams of games soon, very soon. Um,
Do you
I
know what
expect it to
you're
be
looking
fucked and take
forward to
another month.
playing?
How dare you, Sniddles? How dare you? But you're not wrong.
With your luck, actually, yeah.
Hey, I built the one I'm using now, and everything went right on the first try. Okay, so Listen. Um,
Hello,
but yeah,
hello, welcome in.
yeah. Hello, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Yeah,
Do you
it's
expect better of me?
no, I
No,
don't
no,
expect better
that's
of you. Actually,
exactly.
actually, it was exactly what I expected, so it met expectations.
Yeah, no, actually.
um,
Do you know what game you're looking forward to streaming next? Because I think I have a couple ideas, and I'll probably
well,
be on it.
if you've been in our Discord server and you pay attention to our fan art channel and you see some of the stuff that Burb has been posting recently, you'll know some of the games I'll be streaming soon because he's making fins that go along with it for the thumbnails.
Quality work is what I'll say.
But yeah, I do plan on streaming some stuff. I want in the next week or so I want to stream another chill stream with like a collab with Vix, either on Power Wash Simulator or House Flipper 2. I know that's something that she said she wanted to do with me as well. Um but I do have some games in the pipeline I definitely want to stream. I've said it before. I really want to do another stream of Skyrim. I know I've played that game over and over on stream before, but I really, really want to. Um, Gotta get meaner. Need to exceed expectations. Wow. Wow. Yes, I do intend
Arkham
to
games, yeah.
stream the Arkham. I know there's technically 4 games, but I'm only gonna stream 3 of them. It's Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. What's the other one?
Knights?
Arkham Knight.
No, not.
Is it Arkham Knight?
I
I think
forgot
it's
what it
Arkham Knight.
was.
I know that there's 3 of them that I plan to stream. I'm not playing League of Legends. Fuck you. Oh my goodness. But yeah, all that stuff is coming soon. So to bear with me while I get my PC built. Moving on though to your questions from Discord. I only picked out 2 of them since there are just me and Shinoda here for tonight. And I picked out 2 that I think are kind of relevant to the time of year that we're in. One was supposed to be for December. Sorry, we didn't do a WTF in December. But better late than never, I guess. It's actually been almost 2 months since the last time we did a WTF. Can you believe that?
Is it seriously? Oh my god, yeah,
Because
no,
the
you're
last one
right.
we
It
did was
has
at the
been.
end of November, right before Thanksgiving, or right after
Origins. When
Thanksgiving. I
did they
can't
do
remember.
Origins? I don't remember. Asylum
Arkham City,
City
Arkham
Night
Knight, and Arkham
Origins.
Origins. I knew there was a third one. I just couldn't remember the name. Anyway, the first of the 2, actually, both of the questions I pulled out come from Class of the MILF Hunter on our Discord server. The first one is, what's your favorite Christmas movie or show that you like to watch every year besides Die Hard? Thank you for
Oh.
recognizing that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
The argument will forever continue.
It is 100% a Christmas movie. I will die on that hill.
Absolutely ridiculous. I agree though.
See? See?
No, what is something you do a yearly rewatch on?
I would say there's 2 in particular. Well, I guess 3 in particular that I watch, if not every year, like on or around Christmas time during the Christmas season. It's leaving the stream. It is not. No, it is. It is. Die Hard 100% is a Christmas movie. But there's 3 that I kind of watch every year during like the Christmas season, and that is Jingle All the Way because that movie is funny as fuck. I really like Home Alone because it's something that I watched during Christmas when I was a kid, and it makes me feel kind of like a kid again watching it.
Home Alone.
And
God, I didn't realize it was that ancient.
came out in 1990, the year I was
Oh my
born.
god. Wow, actual ancient movie. Damn.
Wow, you calling me old, you fucker? Um, and the other one, which is a lot more of a serious movie, is It's a Wonderful Life, which is a very old movie, but I still love it.
Very economical movie.
Do you know Die Hard is based on a series of books? I did know it's based on a
I
series
didn't
of
know
books.
that. What
And
the hell?
John in the books is a 70-plus-year-old detective. Yeah, I didn't know that he was supposed to be that old, but I did know it was based on a series of books.
100% didn't know about that at all.
Well, you've been learnt. Yeah, those are the
Apparently.
3 that I always go to every like Christmas season.
Oh man, as
And
for
Die
me,
Hard.
and Die Hard, of course. Whew. I don't do a Christmas rewatch of anything. I would think way back in the day maybe I did Home Alone
Mm.
back in the day, but like that was it, and that was over 5 years ago at this point, I think. So
It's
I
before
just
the
don't
COVID
do.
times.
Yeah, actually, I just haven't done a Christmas rewatch of anything in very long time, just because there's so many new things to watch all the time. Yeah.
I mean, it's fair enough. I will say one thing that I am super salty about is that apparently Apple bought the rights to the Charlie Brown like specials, and
Really?
now the only way you can watch, like, because they used to every year on CBS they used to show the Charlie Brown Christmas special, usually like
Yeah, I
a week and a
remembered
half
that growing up. Yeah.
a week and a half before Christmas, and now they don't show it anymore because Apple owns it, and the only way you can stream it is on Apple TV Plus, which
Do you
sucks.
know anyone that actually uses Apple TV?
I don't know anyone that subscribes to it, although I do know people that watch stuff on it in creative ways, shall we say.
Yo ho ho.
I'm not gonna say it out loud, but yes. With me, it's Christmas Story, Santa Claus 2, and what's Rankin Bass?
Rankin Bass Christmas
I have
specials?
no
Oh.
idea what that is, but I'm very familiar with Christmas Story and the Santa Claus movies. Um,
Oh,
I
look at
have it. I
that.
keep getting it discounted with my iPhone. Okay, well, I know one person with Apple TV Plus.
We know one person. You'll
I
have
do know that
to
there's a couple of good stuff, a couple of good things on there. Like there's that series, For All Mankind, which I have seen.
Hey James, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. How is it going for you? But that's like the one thing from Apple TV Plus that I've seen. It's genuinely a good TV series.
Is it really?
Yeah, it was created, or I think co-created, by Ronald D. Moore, who did the reimagined Battlestar Galactica back in the day, and he's also was a writer on Star Trek Deep Space Nine for a long time.
Oh, see, now I'm actually kind of curious about it. Like, I know that they've done a ton of advertising for the show, but I otherwise I haven't really had any interest.
It's a really good TV series.
Okay.
There's 4 seasons out. Yeah, 4 seasons out so far.
Shit, really?
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. The stop motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The
Oh,
one that
those old
CBS,
ones?
the
Yeah,
ones that
I
CBS
remember
used to play all the
those.
time. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah. I
my
know exactly what you're
god.
talking about. I didn't know that was the name of the dude that made it.
That's
um,
ancient. Oh, I love those.
Troubleshooting audio issues. You have my sympathies. That is the thing we work on the most on this podcast.
Oh
If
boy.
you guys only knew, we have been chasing an audio ghost for the last, like, what, 2.5, 3 months, and we think we've
As
narrowed it down to the issue is actually with the how our files are processed on StreamYard, which is the thing we're using right now to stream this. Right, by the way, and
is
it's what
that
we
where
use to
we're at?
record.
Because we've been chasing, trying to figure out what the hell is going
I
on.
I don't know. God bless John, because he actually takes the individual audio and syncs it up with the video instead of the other way around. But
Seriously,
I don't.
bless our czar, because holy shit.
Um, it would frustrate the hell out of me trying to do that, but I'm glad that he does it, and he does a really good job with it. But we've been trying to chase down that ghost for a long time. For a while, we thought it was just me because it was only me that was having that issue. But then there was a couple of episodes where it was all three of us that were on, or all four
Yeah,
of us
yeah.
that had the exact same issue. So where we think it may be a processing issue on the back end of the software that we use. But anyway, enough talking shop. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, yeah.
The next question, which is also the last question we're going to get to, is what movies, shows, games, anime, etc. are you looking forward to in 2025?
Oh boy, you want to start off because
I mean, I'm sure you have a list. It's a mile long.
look, yes.
Yes, this is like, yeah, Yeah. There's a couple of things that I was looking forward to that are already out. The second season of Apothecary Diaries, which is currently airing, I was super looking forward to that. It has not disappointed so far. Um, what else? The second season of Solo Leveling, which again is out right now and currently airing, also not disappointing. Um, something that's coming out. There's two games coming out this year. Well, one of them allegedly is coming out later this year. We'll see. I'm super excited for GTA 6 when that finally drops later this year. We've been waiting over a decade for it.
God, it's so weird to say that it's actually over a decade that we've been waiting for it now.
2013, I think, is when it came out. GTA 5. I think it was 2013 or
Yeah.
2014.
Hell, no, you know how to really date it? It came back 2 console generations ago.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was released for the 360. I remember that
Yep.
because that's where I tried to play it for the first time, and my 360 was so old it couldn't play it. Yeah. So I'm super looking forward to that. Listen, at this point, I'm tempering my expectations because how good can it be, really?
um, well, first of all,
How
James,
dis
have you checked your DAC to see if it's your incoming audio that's not high enough? It might be that.
Also, if you're using
And
a preamp, is the gain all the way up?
yeah,
Um,
and I think it'll be pretty good in terms of quality because they have had years of building up to it. But I'm a little bit worried on how they'll do things because like initially they were going to release DLC and all that for story
for G,
mode,
yeah,
but
for G. I'm
because
still super salty about that, especially
I'm
considering
I'm really
some of the stuff they talked about releasing. It's like, God, why couldn't we have gotten this in story mode? It would have been great.
no, seriously, but like because of the fact that GTA Online took off insanely like it did,
Mm-hmm.
um I'm just worried how 6 is gonna turn out to see if how much of a cash grab it's gonna be.
It makes me wonder if they're gonna do something similar like they did with GTA 5, where they didn't do the online portion until what, several months after the release of the game. I don't, because it wasn't immediate. They didn't have access to GTA Online immediately after GTA 5 dropped. But then I look at something like uh, there was an online mode for Red Dead Redemption 2, and that
There
didn't do well at
was.
all.
But I think part of that is because of how much of a cash grab it was. So I hope
Maybe.
they took some of the lessons from that. No, it was super cash grabby, and everyone called them out for that.
I mean, yeah. And I don't know how much of this has to do with Rockstar themselves or Take Two, which is their publisher. I mean, I'm leaning more towards maybe a Take Two thing because I am still convinced to this day that Rockstar did not expect GTA Online to become anywhere near as successful as it did.
I don't think anyone did.
No.
Anyone at
Um,
all.
but that's probably the game I'm looking forward to the most this year. I'm also really looking forward to the new Mafia game, Mafia: The Old Country, which I believe is also coming out
That
this year.
Yeah, and it looks so freaking good. I was like,
Yeah,
holy shit, this actually looks quality.
yeah.
Like all the
Um,
Mafia games are actually really damn good, but like Old Country looks really nice and really well done. And if it's anything to go by of the last previous Mafia game, it's gonna be damn good, especially in terms of
well,
writing. Holy shit.
the third game wasn't as good as the first two in terms of writing. The mechanics of the third game were great. But I think the
Really?
writing in the third game was not as like, it certainly wasn't as good as the second game. John and I were talking about this during the Game Awards because they showed a trailer for it
Mm-hmm.
during the Game Awards. Because John has never played those games, and he's like, "So what is it like?" And it's like, "Well, the first two games are really good, and then the third game is kind of just." And he's like, "Oh, so just like the Godfather movies." uh,
Oh, that's sad.
but yeah, I'm super looking forward to that just because I do love the first two Mafia games a lot. And the remasters that they did for those games were also really well done in my opinion. Um,
All right.
those are probably the things I'm looking forward to the most this year. I can't say that there's any like movies that I'm aware of coming out this year that I'm super hyped for.
Oh,
Um,
you know what? I haven't even
I
thought of that.
and I don't really watch a whole lot of like TV anymore. Um, they're more Goodfellas than Godfather and Tone. Oh yeah, the mafia movies are definitely more Goodfellas than Godfather and Tone. They're not anywhere near as like super serious as the Godfather movies. I do think it is funny that like the Godfather movies though they were a trilogy. The first two are considered absolutely phenomenal, and the third is considered just kind of mid.
Still need to see Godfather movies. I
Oh
haven't.
man, you are missing out, man. I keep forgetting that there's a lot of like classic movies you've never seen.
There is an Excel sheet, and it
I
is
know, and
very,
to your
very
credit,
big.
you are slowly crossing things off.
Yeah, and like the reason it's such a slow pace is because of the fact that I'm watching it with friends, so
Ah, okay,
it takes a little while.
that makes sense.
But you know, it's gonna be good.
I got you.
There are a couple of movies that I am looking forward to that I can't think of. Don't hate me for this. But a couple of the Marvel movies.
Of
I am
course.
still into them. I am still into them. What can I say? I enjoy it. It's a little bit much these days, but like still.
Yeah, hi John. Loves watching trashy shows like Isekai Garbage, but refuses to watch The Godfather or Bebop. SMH.
Look, I enjoy trash, not quality.
You were like the personification of that red letter media meme. Don't ask questions, just consume product and wait for next product.
I love product. I love consuming. Yum yum yum.
Look, I get it. Like
Oh,
the Marvel movies, for as much as even people who are like diehard Marvel fans say they've gone downhill, they are
they
still
have
like just general popcorn flair. I mean,
popcorn flicks. Yeah,
yeah. If you
yeah.
don't
I
think
think
about
they
them
are.
too much,
Yeah, because like once you start like really, I do
oh,
like
oh,
ReZero.
it goes deeper than that, Siddles, because this dude likes Danmachi unironically.
Unironically, and I will defend it. And John
Uh,
loves tearing into me before
what
that.
what Marvel movies are coming out this year? Because I know there's Captain
So
America: Brave New World.
Brave New World. And let's see. There's also the Thunderbolts.
I have no idea what that is even.
Basically a lot of the B team, a lot of stuff they've been putting together in the Disney shows and all that. Here, I'll link you.
I'm not going to look at it, but sure, you send me all
Oh,
you want.
no, it's a bunch of the B team like Red Guardian, Bucky, Taskmaster,
I don't know who
just a
any of
bunch
these
of the
fucking
B
people
team
are.
Marvel characters. Um,
Well, I knew they
there's a
weren't
bunch of
DC
them getting
characters.
together. Yeah. Wait, what?
I knew if it's in a Marvel movie, it's not going to be DC characters unless it's Deadpool. If it were a Deadpool movie, I would not be the least bit surprised if Batman showed up in it.
I mean, yeah. So looking forward to those. I'm also looking forward to the final Mission Impossible movie.
Oh, that is
I
coming out
do.
this year.
Yeah, I genuinely love how turn off your brain and just enjoy the action. And like just cool shit that happens. Movies they are.
Yeah, I mean they're not super deep movies, but they are enjoyable. I
There's also oh, actually, speaking of DC, there is that new James Gunn Superman movie. I believe that's this year.
Oh yeah, isn't that coming out like in a month or two? Oh,
July
July.
11th is what it
Man,
says.
as
Yeah, I'm
many
looking at it
trailers as
now.
or as many times as I've seen it being advertised, I thought it was coming out a lot sooner than that.
Nope, I think they're just pre-gaming.
I
And
mean,
I am not looking forward to it, but like I'll watch it because it's probably going to be a train wreck. There's another Jurassic World movie.
man, talking about milking a franchise, Jesus Christ. How many? It's like the whole thing with Jurassic Park is now like, how many times do we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
It
Don't
literally
mess
is.
with nature.
Oh, and there is the new Fantastic Four movie as well, so that's going to be interesting.
Hmm.
Oh, I didn't know this. There's a Tron movie in the works.
I have heard that there's a new Tron movie in the works. I don't know if it's coming out this year. I thought it was coming out in like a year or two.
And apparently Zootopia too, so I'm really
Oh,
happy for the furries.
the furries
Like
will love
congrats.
that.
Yeah, congrats. Good for you. It's going to be
Wife,
a
hello, puzzle. Hello.
hi wife. Uh Oh wait, his wife saying she's a furry? Is that what she's saying?
I mean, listen, would it surprise me?
Well, actually, based on how much we talk about werewolves, probably.
I, I,
Read
leave
wife's
it.
fan fiction.
Leave
There's
it.
some
I leave
quality
it.
stuff there.
I'm not. No,
Hey, look,
no.
that's the After Dark section of Anime Club After Dark.
You ain't kidding. There is
Um,
nothing. I've said it before on this podcast. I'll say it again. There is nothing scarier to me than a girl gooner.
Alex, don't be afraid. It's just a copy of you.
Gotta pass the hardness test, baby. Don't worry. Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Harkness. Yeah.
Oh, hardness. That makes more sense. Hardness also kind of makes sense if you're talking about werewolves. Just saying.
Oh, don't worry. They I'll do good stuff there. um so I'll go reverse order of what you did. Going to games. Really looking forward to Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm not gonna get to play it immediately because I'm like 2 games behind and I need to complete Assassin's Creed Odyssey and then Valhalla. Actually, I'm 3 games behind because I also need what was the one that came after Valhalla? The Middle Eastern one, the newest one.
I have no idea.
Let me Jamie
Oh,
this.
Split Fiction. That's the one they showed off at the Game Awards. That looked interesting. Actually, isn't it made by the same people who made It Takes Two? I think it's made by the same
Mirage.
people. Hi, Mom. My mom is in the chat.
Hi, Judy. Split Fiction. That actually
Yeah,
sounds cool.
it is. Okay, so yeah, I'm thinking of the same thing. Yeah. I was excited for that, and then I saw EA is publishing Split Fiction, so it's going to be terrible. It will
Buddy,
probably be
it's okay.
terrible
It's
since it's
okay.
published by
It will
EA.
be. But sometimes they do
Oh,
have slight bangers, so we'll
I'm sure. John's wife says my mom's cornbread was delicious that I gave them. I'm sure my mom is very happy to hear that. It takes so
yeah,
it
It
takes
Takes Two
two
was amazing.
is amazing. I haven't had a chance to. Well, Sinnles and I actually played that on stream a couple years ago. Although there were technical issues and we couldn't actually continue past a certain point. I think I might try playing that again on stream because it's a game that I don't have to have a person with me who actually has the game because you can have like the friends pass, which is free.
Maybe better.
Than live service games in EA. I cannot think of a worse combination in my life. Listen. I would not when I build my new PC. I'm more than willing to try playing it again. I just know that I think you were trying to play it on a console and there was some kind of issue with it. It's allegedly supposed to be, I think, crossplay, but it was not working for us at all.
Huh. I mean, maybe they've patched it. I
I
don't know.
I don't
I'd be
know. I
curious.
I don't know if we ever truly figured out what the issue was, but I'm willing to give it another shot because it was what we played was fun. I was playing it on a stock PC. Oof.
Yeah, no,
Oof.
that that might have been part of it.
Big oof.
Um, so yeah, other than Assassin's Creed, really looking forward to Monster Hunter Wilds, and I know we're more than likely going to be streaming that as well because we really enjoyed playing that together as a group.
Who's we? Because I never played it.
Uh, Me, John, and Sun, we actually
Oh,
all played it together. Yeah,
I've
and
never
it
played a
was
Monster Hunter game, so I've. Who
they're
is this
really good.
weeb? Is this you speaking French?
Damn, man doesn't want to stream games. All right.
Nope, not at all.
Uh,
Uh,
but yeah, no. So that's gonna be hella fun. Doom: The Dark Ages is gonna be really
oh
interesting.
man,
I'm not
that's
gonna
coming out.
play it myself. Yeah, it is. I don't know if I'll play it myself necessarily because I haven't played the other two either. But
Mhm.
I'm definitely gonna enjoy watching other people play it just because like there's so much cool shit you can do in Doom, especially the new games. Oh my god, it's so cinematically badass, and I love watching people play it. So
It
just to see
is.
what type of things they do, oh man.
I don't have time to carry LR hunters like Chnoda. This
Wow.
dude actually calling you
Disrespectful.
out live on stream right now for being a
Disrespectful.
shitty gamer.
Wow.
See, this is why I don't play because I know that with John, the only winning move for me is not to play.
With him.
Bro can't criticize my gameplay if there's no gameplay to criticize. Uh,
And here I thought I would bring in the hunting horn, buff everyone, be the support heals,
bro, he's probably done all
man.
that 10 times over by this time. You know he
I
has.
was gonna be the dedicated one, but if he doesn't want that help, sure, literally just get good.
Literally just get good. John, in order to get good, you first must get.
And that's what he's gonna avoid.
And getting is half the battle. Oh my god.
Um, and apparently, quote unquote, Metroid Prime 4 is this year. I'll believe it when I see it, but allegedly. But oh my god, what we've seen so far, I'm just like, holy shit, yes. Like,
Hmm.
please give it to us already. Um,
Get me the Hobbit
a,
game. Is that the new? Did they show that off at the Game Awards too? I think question mark perhaps.
a new
They showed off
Hobbit
a
game?
lot.
Yeah, they did. I don't
It's a
remember
new
a
Lord of
Hobbit
the
game.
Rings game, and I think it's supposed to be sort of like a. I don't know what it's supposed to be like a Hobbit life simulator game. I don't know.
I genuinely don't remember this. Um, there's
I
also the new Fable game.
oh yeah, that's coming out. I
I am worried.
I am
I definitely am
cautiously
worried.
optimistic because I know what they've done with that franchise, and boy, were the last two entries terrible.
Oh
Well,
wait,
they had
last two entries?
well, Fable 3 also wasn't that good either, but they had a Fable mobile game I think which really sucked, and they had Fable Heroes, which was very obviously a cash grab.
Yeah, yeah. I actually really enjoyed Fable 3. I do agree with the criticism of yeah, the story wasn't as good as 1 or 2, but I actually really enjoyed the gameplay and the type of things you could do in it. I know a lot of people complained about the fact that you can't like it was super difficult to find a way to make money versus and pay up versus making terrible choices. I don't know how I managed to find a way to make enough money and keep people happy and not have to make the terrible choices. So
Hmm.
I struck that happy balance and got like the best ending possible. So I'm good with it.
I don't know. I'm
Um,
super cautiously optimistic about anything like Fable related. Uh,
Yeah.
the first two
It
games are
looks
great though.
good so far. It looks good from what we've seen. I'm actually really looking forward to it. It feels like it captures the spirit of Fable. How it's actually going to be, we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah. Um, oh, Heroes was canceled. Okay. I for some reason I remember there being some kind of a mobile game, but maybe I'm just going absolutely crazy. Or maybe I'm thinking of something else, some other franchise that has been run into the ground. Um,
Yeah. Another game. There's actually a bunch of games that I'm looking
oh,
forward
I'm
to
not
this year.
surprised. There's a
Apparently,
bunch of games you're looking forward to.
Avowed looks pretty interesting. It looks like it's pretty fun gameplay as well. Go on. I thought
I
you were
was
gonna
trying
say.
to remember what Avowed was, and then I remember, yeah, they showed that off at the Game Awards too.
Yeah, yeah. Um, let's see. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. This looks like a good little not little but good RPG that has an interesting premise to it, and I'm just like, okay, this seems kind of weird, kind of out there, and I want to check it out. And it's coming pretty soon too, so we'll have the chance to take a look at it pretty soon.
I have a question for you, Chinoda.
Yeah,
Do you think that sometime before the end of this year, and I'm not talking about like an actual game, but
this is going to be a no.
do you think we will even get any kind of new trailer, or like whether it's a teaser trailer or something, for the next Elder Scrolls game before the end of the year?
No,
Because I don't think that game's coming out until at least 2027 at the earliest.
buddy, I'm gonna go a step further and say like 28 or 29.
I would not be surprised, but again, that's another game that I just. Whew.
It's gonna be a while.
My, how the
There is
mighty have
some.
fallen. Name a good Bethesda game that's come out since Elders or since Skyrim. Go. See, you can't.
So disrespectful. Wait,
Me and
hold on.
Shinoda share a brain cell with games. If you say Starfield, I'm going to reach to the computer and slap you.
What? Why would I say Starfield? Why would I do that? No, Dishonored.
That wasn't made by
Dishonored 1 and 2.
Bethesda, though. Was it?
Arcane? Yeah, they're a branch aren't they
But it wasn't.
a
I think
branch?
it was published by Bethesda, but it wasn't made by Bethesda.
You're right. No.
Like the
It's
Indiana
under the
Jones game that just
Bethesda
came out,
umbrella.
and the Indiana Jones game that came out was published by Bethesda, but it wasn't made by them. So were the Doom games, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. They're technically under the umbrella of a Bethesda, but directly.
Well, it's weird because Bethesda is both a developer and a publisher, and they don't necessarily publish just their own games.
That is true. Although I do know there is a lot of resources and help that goes in between all the studios that are owned by Bethesda. So I do know
Yet you
that for
yet
certain.
you still have not named a Bethesda developed game since Skyrim that's been good.
I mean, what have they developed since Skyrim?
Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Starfield. That's
4
it.
is contentious. 76
Well,
has gotten a lot better.
Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh man, I actually used to play Elder Scrolls Online for a good bit. I got through like one of the campaigns and then I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna grind out all this.
Remember Bethesda made a game based on the guy who founded SEAL Team 6? I do
Did
not
they?
remember this. Bethesda
I
made a
don't remember
shooter
the
that
yeah.
isn't Fallout?
Huh. Anyway, that's enough of games. I don't remember anything else specifically coming out this year that I remember. There might be something else, but I mean, oh,
Gearbox, the
actually
people
no,
who make
I know.
Borderlands, has its own publishing as well. Yeah. Yeah, Activision was also a developer back in the day.
That's true.
But
Yeah.
I think they don't make games anymore, right? They're just a publishing house. I think.
pretty much. I don't remember them actually
I'm
making
trying to
any.
think of a
Well, what
trying to think
about the
of a
COD
game,
games?
but I think they're just published by Activision, not made by them.
No, aren't they directly making those?
I could be wrong. I'm struggling to think of anything that I can think of within the last like 5-6 years that was like said developed by Activision. But I could be wrong.
That's more research that I'm not going to do right now.
I'm sure John
Oh,
knows, and
oh,
he'll pipe up in the chat here.
yeah. I do know I'm looking forward to the new Pokemon game as well, but that's for gooning material.
Oh my god!
I know what I'm about, Sonny.
The COD games are made by Sledgehammer, Raven, and Infinity Ward. That's what I thought.
Oh,
They're
okay,
not actually
okay.
developed by Activision. I think they're just published by Activision.
The game is called Rogue Warrior and sucks sadly. It's a poor man's Gears of War clone. That does suck.
Mm,
Although
that
not
does.
Gears of War clone isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if it's not copied well, yeah. Um and to the final thing, anime that I'm looking forward to.
Every isekai. He's looking forward to
Every
every
isekai,
isekai.
sure. Let's just go ahead and say every single isekai possible.
Isn't there another season of Danmachi coming out later this year?
Not just this year, on the 7th in like 7 days, 8 days. There's
Really?
gonna
Oh
be
my
two
god, I didn't
episodes.
realize it was
Yeah,
that quick.
yeah. No, they had to because some production issues happened. They had to pause making it and said, okay, we'll make it and then put like 2 episodes out on the 7th, and then like
Well, that's just
there's a
really
whole schedule for the rest of the
that's
season.
just a continuation due to like a production halting. I mean, I could have sworn there was like a whole other season coming out later this year.
There probably is. Let me go look off the
I,
mal list.
I mean, maybe I listen. There's so much anime that comes out and gets announced. I'm surprised I can keep up with half of it.
Yeah, I genuinely forget all the time.
We do our seasonal previews, and I go through like any chart, and I'm like, oh shit, when was that announced? I don't remember this getting announced.
Yeah. Anyways, there's the last season of Fire Force. That's gonna be hype as fuck. Next season of Windbreakers. Let's see what else. What else?
Windbreaker is a good anime. More people should go watch it.
Yeah, more Black Butler, more ReZero. Oh,
Oh yeah, the
there's
second half of the new season is coming out.
yeah, because they did
It's
they're doing
it's
core 1, core 2, yeah.
yeah.
Split
There's two
cores.
different arcs like in this season, and they split them like genuinely like right in half.
Yeah, which kind of annoyed me, but like I'm sure they have their reasons and like
It's certainly better than
sh-
waiting 2 to 3 years in between each season.
oh, absolutely. Plus like so long as they give time for their people to do their work properly and like make it actual quality, sure, go for it. Do what you
I
need to do.
I saw this today, and I haven't seen it actually announced by like an official source or anything. But apparently, Shangri-La Frontier is getting a third season. Probably not this year, but
I haven't seen anything about that. I believe it. I fully believe it, but I haven't seen anything about
I
that.
I don't quote me on that because I didn't see it from like any kind of official source. But apparently, it may be getting a third season. Now I don't know if that's going to be later this year or not because all I saw was third season production decision announcement. I was like, okay,
I
cool.
can fully believe it though. Um we're getting a new Black Butler. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be another season. Like it's actually started coming back, which is super weird, but hell yeah. At the school arc, yeah, yeah, season that season the school arc is what happened previously, and they've already wrapped it up. So it's gonna be the next arc, whatever that is. I've never read the manga myself, so I don't know. Um, Season 2 was already catching up to the source material in the manga. So John's not sure how soon we're
I,
getting
it's a good question. I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't from an official source, so it could be wrong. It could just be a rumor. I don't know, so don't quote me on it. Where is my host club remake never?
mood. Big fucking mood.
Well, I guess I can't say never because I never thought we'd get a Ranma 1/2 remake, and yet here we are.
That's true.
Hey, if you
There's
want more
also,
Apothecary Diaries, you're in luck because it's airing right now.
I'm sure she already knows that. Um, there's the Konosuba OVA. I'm very,
Two of them.
very much looking forward to that.
Two of them.
Oh yeah, two of them. Two episodes, not just one. Which weird, but hell yeah, I'll absolutely take it. Um, there is. Oh yeah, and more importantly, KyoAni is coming back with the Dragon Maid movie. To
That's
say
right.
I'm hyped doesn't even begin to describe how excited I am.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's coming out. Is it later this year?
Yes, yes. It's scheduled for spring actually, so
Damn. And
not too
KyoAni we
far off.
trust.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think there's some good stuff
There's
coming out this year for sure.
oh yeah, Kaiju number 8 second season, Dandadan second season. Uh Apparently Sakamoto Days is split two core, so part 2 is going to be summer. So
Oh, okay.
just a shit ton of stuff like that. Good
I
amount of
didn't realize it was going to
sequels.
be
Yeah.
split core.
Yeah, neither did I till just now.
Oh, did you look it up and it's like, oh, second core? It's like, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm literally looking at it and it's like, "Oh, okay, cool. Didn't know this."
Okay.
So, yeah, that's like all the stuff I'm looking forward to. The only TV show that I'm looking forward to coming is Reacher on Prime, and I'm just looking for it's very dumb. It's very much a big Hulk brooding hero saves the day kind of show. It's stupid, but I just really enjoy it just because I used to well, not used to, but I read the a couple of the Reacher books. So season 2 was bad, but I mean, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. Let's get that out of the way. It wasn't that good either.
Well, from what I've heard, because I haven't seen this, I watched the original Jack Reacher movies, which starred Tom Cruise, who looks nothing like Jack Reacher as described in the novels. um, but I've seen like clips and stuff of the first season, and the first season looks really good. And I've heard from people who have watched it that the first season is pretty good. But then John tells me that the second season just falls off a cliff in terms of the writing.
As the person who recommended this show, um, yeah, it does fall off, and like it kind of it's a question of what the hell happened.
Mm.
But apparently some things have changed around, so season 3 hopefully does better. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it either way, whether it's good or bad, and then judge it from there. Tom Clancy
Okay.
mentioned, let's go. Hell yeah, I
Tom
love
Clancy
Tom Clancy
mentioned, let's
books.
go.
I'm a little bit sad that I live in the same state that he used to live in before he died and never got to meet him.
Well, I mean, probably a lot of people that can say that about celebrities that they live in the same state, but they never meet them.
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm just like, man, could have met him sometime, like locally. So it is what it is, though.
All right.
Anyway, that's
Well,
all I got. Yeah.
all right. Well, that's the only two questions that we're going to be answering in this particular WTF. We'll answer more next time. If you want to ask us questions that will get answered here, look down below where you can find a link to our Discord server. There's a channel in that Discord server dedicated directly to answering questions that appear on our WTF. Just make sure you're 18 plus if you want to join our Discord server. I want to talk about something. So normally, I wait until later in the year to announce this. But I am attending Otakon again this year. Woohoo! I've already got everything like booked and paid for. This is the earliest I've ever booked and paid for everything for Otakon. But yeah, I'm going to be going this year. It's later in the year than it usually is because usually it's either the last weekend of July or the first weekend of August. It is the second weekend of August this year. And I
Yeah,
think
it's super weird timing wise.
next year, I think it's going to be the third weekend of August.
Wait, why do you say that?
The date's already on Wikipedia. If you go check Otakon on Wikipedia, the date for next year is already on there. It was actually on there earlier last year. And they actually had 2025's date on the Wikipedia page back in, I want to say, April or May of last year, before Otakon even went forward, and it turned out to be right.
Oh, that's highly specific. How the hell did they get? Huh?
And
I wonder if that's true.
maybe someone who runs Otakon was putting the dates on Wikipedia. I don't know.
Of all the places to put it.
But yeah, it turned out to be right for this year. So, Shinoda can just add this year's Otakon
Oh
gifts into last year's package. For you still haven't sent that shit.
Look,
You work for the post office, my dude.
Exactly why I'm worried. I know what goes on in there.
Oh my god. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to see who they bring. I mean, yeah, they would have had to have planned ahead. Obviously, when you do a convention, you have to plan like a year or plus in advance for everything. We've talked about this before. At some point, I'd love to get someone on our podcast that has like worked on planning a convention, especially at like a high level, to like understand and ask questions about all the stuff that goes into it, because I'm sure it's like a logistical nightmare sometimes.
We do have wifey who works a
Yeah,
lot
but
and
she
conventions.
works at a lot of conventions, but she's not like on a planning committee for conventions.
That's true. I do.
Especially
Okay.
and especially not something to the scale of like Otakon, Anime Expo, Anime NYC, things like that.
I have a couple of friends I could reach out.
I'd be really interested to hear the kind of logistical planning that has to happen for stuff like that.
It takes a different amount of planning, is what I'll say.
100%, 100%. I'm hoping they actually like, because my one of my few gripes with Otakon, especially since like 2021 when they started doing like in-person conventions again, is they seem to be very averse to inviting VTubers. And maybe it is that they invite them and they just don't accept the invitation. I don't know. But I really wish they'd get some actual like VTuber content, because I know Otakon is meant to be like an anime convention, but there are other anime conventions that have like VTubers that show up, and it's definitely an anime adjacent thing.
It definitely is. And VTubers have only gotten bigger and bigger, and there's so much more of them now.
Yeah.
I do think but big numbers wise, it takes a lot of money to get any sort of appearances over there, and it might not be worth it to them.
Maybe, I don't know. It's a major question that I have. That it's like, all these other conventions are doing it. Why aren't you doing it? But I don't know, that's really my only major gripe with Otakon. They fixed a lot of my issues with the convention itself last year, especially with getting people into the convention center, because it used to like have the line that wrapped around the building like a couple of times. I don't know what they did, but they definitely fixed it this last year.
Yeah, thankfully, and hopefully we don't have to experience that ever again, because that was, oh boy, that was bad. I've been to many Align cons, and that was not fun.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I would actually just say. Invite VTubers to your convention, please, because there's some of us that actually would like that kind of content. But that is something that we'll probably talk about once it happens. I'm sure we'll do a WTF where we talk about all the stuff that we did there, because I know you're going as well.
Oh yeah, of course. As usual, I'll be there.
But you just got back from a convention.
As usual, yeah. I going by my title, I went to Magfest,
Mm-hmm.
and Holy shit, we had such a good time. And MagFest is actually a 4-day convention, not a 3-day. It starts Thursday and ends on Sunday. So
The
actual day
only
zero is Wednesday. Yeah.
the only thing I know about Magfest is that it is in the same place that Katsucon is held. That's the only thing I
Yes.
know about it.
Yeah, at the Gaylord National Resort.
Gaylord.
Yeah, no. We always make that joke. Um yeah, no, and it's a super great time. Music and gaming festival. So how MagFest works is it's very much a party con. It's very much just
Like
a good
Katsucon.
times con. Even more, actually, even more of a party con than Katsucon, I would say, because how you have it is you have a ton of people in different spaces, and pretty much anyone can set themselves up in these spaces to play music, and they can play whatever type of music wherever. So you just go into one of those slots, set up your instruments and all that, whatever setup you have, and
Mhm.
just start jamming, and you will have entire crowds just around those spaces listening to that music and just vibing out. It's hell of a great time. And this year was
That's why it's
actually,
called Magfest, Music and Games Festival. I get it.
that's what I said, buddy.
I didn't hear you say that, and it just I put two and
Oh
two
yeah,
together. It's like Music and Games
yeah,
Magfest.
music and games festival. Yeah.
I
um
just put that together. It's like, oh shit,
yeah, and
that's
this year was
clever.
actually, it really is, and this year was actually Sonic themed, so that was very fun.
Gotta go fast.
Actually, yeah, and holy shit, there was so much Sonic themed stuff this year. It was funny as fuck. Great times. There were so many Sonic cosplayers this year. But yeah,
Furries.
so lots. There's there was a good amount of those as well. Yes, but that's at every convention these days.
Let me show you
So,
my Sonic fan fiction.
oh no, lots
Listen,
and lots
listen.
of those.
Even the creators of Sonic have acknowledged it, man. They put a whole thing in the Sonic Boom cartoon about it.
It was so cursed. I loved it and hated it. So yeah, lots of music. Got to watch Power Glove on main stage. They're a really fun band. They a lot of their music is game themed, so that was cool as shit. And then the video game side of it. Holy shit! This was the first time I actually spent like hours upon hours in the arcade room. So they have how they do it is they have their console. They have a console room, a merch alley, which is like merch and artist alley combined into just one part, a indie game hall, and arcade, which is all the arcade games and all that.
Yeah.
And they're all connected as one room, only separated by these big walls that are slidable and all that, but like that's the only thing that's
Oh, that's kind of like how
separating
they
them.
have it at Otakon. At the convention center there, the walls can slide out to make the rooms bigger.
Uh-huh, exactly like that, but like on a massive scale.
Yeah.
Um and there all those rooms are actually all interconnected as well, which is really cool. So you can just walk through all of them depending on where you want to go. Uh Such a fun time. I spent so many hours just browsing merch, and I don't even want to speak about how many things I got this year. Um
I'm gonna ask the
and
question before it appears in our chat. What did you get, John's wife?
I didn't get her anything because I got myself a
Oh,
bunch of things.
oh, you are in trouble.
I got a bunch of things for myself, and like
Look,
couple of things for
I
local
tried.
friends, and that is all I will say.
I
I'll
tried.
give her my love. She has to be okay with that. She'll have to live with that. Yeah, no, so all those rooms are interconnected, which is cool as shit. And because of that as well, I went to all the other rooms just when I needed something else to do. I don't know how much time I spent in the consoles room, not too much. The indie game room, it's always fun because you get to see a lot of games you would never see or think of in person and actually try them out. So there's actually a couple games that I found and tried that I'm like, oh, this actually looks interesting and plays differently. I'm gonna have to actually follow this to see its eventual release and all that, and hope it comes out. Because there are a lot of cool bangers that come out that eventually become pretty good games. So
So
that's very exciting.
in that sense, at least with the games, is it kind of like PAX in that like regard, where
Yes, it is very PAX like.
bunch of indie developers show up to show off their games?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Like a
okay,
whole bunch of them. So like it's actually really cool.
okay.
And
I guess it's
then
just got the added like attraction of live music.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Although I'm sure there's live music performances.
Well,
I've never actually been to PAX, but I've only talked to people who've been to PAX, but they never talked about like a bunch of live music performances. I'm sure there's
I'm
got to be
sure
some.
it's there. Yeah. But like I mean the music aspect isn't just added on. One of the main aspects of it. It's one of the biggest things about it. Um and then where I probably spent the most amount of time this year in the arcade section. Holy shit. I played so many. Doesn't ask me.
Well, you're not here.
Yeah,
But yeah,
buddy. Maybe
that's
if
what
you were in.
it's what I assume that PAX is like, because you've told me that I think in the past that it's kind of like a bunch of indie developers do show up to show off their games.
But yeah, so most of my time this year was spent in the arcade room just playing so many different games. I ended up playing everything under the sun that's on an arcade machine, and that was such a great time. F-Zero always fun as fuck to play, especially the machine. Have you ever played the F-Zero machine that
Yeah.
actually moves around on a gimbal?
Oh, I've never played one on a gimbal. No.
Yeah, no, so like it actually moves around with you. It's so fucking fun because you as you're taking those turns and all that, you're actually getting shaken, you're actually going in that direction. It's intense as fuck.
That might make
And
me a little sick. Not gonna lie.
no, it would. It actually would. Um Lots of sit down Japanese games and I was just loving those.
Hmm.
I actually played for the first time in a very long time a lot of rhythm games this year. You know the game that's on the taiko drums? Um
I
Big
mean, I know what a
square
taiko drum is, but
yeah. So there's a game that you gotta match it up to the rhythm and it's a
yeah.
symbol going across the screen. Holy shit, so much fun, and actually I actually enjoyed it to the
Are
point
you
where I'm
becoming
just
a rhythm
thinking,
gamer? God damn it!
no, God no. But at the same time, I am called Taiko. Yeah, thank you, John.
Yeah, the taiko drum game called Taiko. That's very efficient naming.
No,
It's
I
like
am actually somewhat.
it's like the anime with Akira called Akira.
God damn it. Uh, I am actually thinking about picking up some Taiko drums if they're even available just to play the game because it was so much fun. I was just having a banger of a time. That is a pun. Um,
Ha 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 ha.
it was just a good time, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is kind of addicting. I can see why people get into this, and there was a bunch of other rhythm games as well, and I actually managed to try them out this year. Got it. It's actually fun, and I'm just like, shit, I'm kind of getting into this. Like, I think it's part of the physical aspect on top of the fact that it's a video game, and I don't have to actually be a skilled musician. There's a part of the game for Switch that really sucks. Oh,
Joy-Con
port of the
controls
game.
are awful.
Yeah, no, that's why
Yeah.
I'm just like thinking of like finding out how much actual how that whole how much that whole setup is just so I can actually have it at home. Just because I'm like, man, that was really fucking fun playing the drum.
Also, to answer your question, no.
The Donkey Kong bongo game. Yo, that's a classic. That's an actual classic. I haven't done that in I don't know how long.
I I have tried rhythm games. I am not good at them. Just like I am not good at fighting games.
Yeah, they take so much time and practice, but like when you find something you really like, it's worth it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. So and like that's all the game stuff. Those were really fun time this year. I really enjoyed it. Did a couple panels as well. Just a lot of like, lot of stuff like hey, what do you think of the state of the game industry and just like why
Oh,
we
I bet
still
that
need
was very
piracy?
wholesome.
Yeah, and like why do we still need piracy and like what do we do about preservation? Just stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, no, these are actually interesting points to talk about, and like we need to have discussions like these because it's actually important. And the last panel I went to was a sea shanty panel where we were just singing sea shanties, and it was such a fun time.
I've never played a rhythm game before. 1v1 meets Shinoda.
Motherfucking lot. We literally played a rhythm game together when I came over. Freaking lot. What a
Someone's
wifey, your
lying here,
hubby's
and
a
I'm not
liar.
sure who.
I lie and he tells the truth. Which one of us
I
is
mean,
the
this might be a controversial opinion, and John might disagree with me when I say this, but fighting games are just rhythm games with cool character designs.
That's so much bullshit. You couldn't even play DDR on
DDR
easy
on
mode.
easy mode, SMH.
Buddy, I'm fat. You expect me to move like that? Actually, I can't say shit. I've seen fat people
Listen,
move like that for DDR.
I've seen fat ass weebs play DDR and be absolutely phenomenal at it. Being fat is no excuse not to be good at DDR.
But the part of that is they have practice. I
I
don't.
actually, this no joke. I actually knew someone once who lost a ton of weight playing DDR, like every day. And that was
That
their
doesn't
cardio.
surprise me at all.
That was
Yeah.
their cardio, playing DDR. And they lost, like, I want to say it was 50, 60 pounds doing that every single day for like
Good God.
2 hours at a time.
For how long though?
Like how many like weeks or whatever?
Yeah, weeks,
I want to say
months,
they
years.
lost it. I want to say they lost it over the course of like 8 months, 9 months.
Damn, that's impressive. Though no surprise because like you have to move
Listen,
all your muscles,
some of
and
those
you are
songs on DDR
sweating.
are crazy.
I
Absolutely
remember.
crazy.
So, fun side story. I remember way back when I was in like high school or maybe middle school, one of my former friends, he played DDR at a friend's house and he played it to the point where he literally created a sweat puddle on the floor and had to clean it up after.
That's nasty.
The man got in the groove and was just moving. Just Dance was my go-to.
I mean, that's another one that's like,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people could use that as cardio. I don't
I mean,
think
they're-
it's necessarily the worst way to get yourself moving.
Yeah, and they're fun games to play. You're enjoying them and like you're getting a good workout. Like it's a win-win-win.
Depending on the song, you could be getting a great workout.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Some of those
And
songs.
and what difficulty you have it on.
Some of those are actual insane. And like I've seen people move and I'm just like, how the fuck are you moving like that? How do you get those rhythms? What?
I'm
Great
glad you had a
times.
good time at MagFest.
Yeah, no, genuinely loved it. This was my second time going officially instead of just lobby conning, and fantastic time. I'm definitely planning on going back next year. Our hotel this year wasn't that great just because we missed out on all the rooms available in the harbor, but we did what we had to.
Since we're talking about games, I'm gonna answer a question that was asked
Sure.
by New Vegas Savior in our Discord server just a few minutes ago. What is your favorite hard game? It depends. If you're talking about games on hard difficulty, Halo 2 on Legendary. Those fucking
That's your
jackal
favorite.
snipers, man.
And that's
I
your
mean,
favorite.
I don't play games like fucking Dark Souls and shit because I actually, number one, have a life, and number two, don't like yelling at the games I play.
Ugh. What
Um,
is? Hmm.
I'm trying to think of I have played and beaten games on their hardest difficulty before, but if you're talking about games that are like known for being hard, I really don't play games like that because I don't find them fun.
I can't think of anything that I played that are like that. I don't even remember if I've necessarily. I know I've played a couple games on hard, but I didn't really enjoy it, and I knocked the difficulty back down and restarted the game just because I wasn't having a good time. For me, gaming is a lot more of a enjoy the story, gameplay, or just have fun doing it kind of thing, or
Hmm.
zonk my brain out to it. I don't necessarily enjoy games that are on like hard difficulty. Oh, you know what? Uh I don't remember which one it was. Way back in the day, on the DS, Fire Emblem.
I've never
Like
played, so I don't know how difficult those games are supposed to be.
they can be pretty difficult, especially the older ones, because it's just difficult. And like if your people die, they're dead.
Mhm.
Like they
Oh,
are dead. Yeah, like you're not getting
finito.
them back. Yeah.
Uh,
And like the story can go on, but man, will it have consequences.
yeah,
So
I
like
don't
those are
really.
actually difficult.
I don't tend to play games that are hard just for difficulty's sake. Now, like I said, I have beaten games on like their hardest difficulty before, and some of them are more difficult than others. Halo 2 on legendary difficulty is pretty fucking hard, especially with the sniper jackals. Um, if you're playing Mass Effect, particularly Mass Effect 2, with the Sentinel class on legendary difficulty, that is fucking hard too. Um, I'm trying to think if there's any other games where I've like beaten them on their hardest difficulty that were like genuinely difficult. Those are the two that come to mind for me. And it's not necessarily because the games themselves are hard, it's because the game in combination with the way you play it is difficult.
Um, yeah, I genuinely can't think of anything else that I've played that is difficult like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I really don't play those types of games too often. I probably should at least to check them out, but I just haven't. I'm sure I would really get into Elden Ring or something, or Dark Souls 3, whatever, if I played it. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, from what I've heard from people that have played it, like the Dark Souls games and even Elden Ring actually has a good story. It's just, hard to play.
Yeah, but it's like once you get into the groove of a lot of those games, like it's
Mm-hmm.
not too difficult.
Yeah. Um, did you have anything else to say about Magfest before we moved on, or
Um, bought a bunch of stuff
yeah.
and all that. I'll
Oh,
take a
you
picture
mentioned
of
that. You
those.
you mentioned you
Yeah,
spent more money than you wanted to.
yeah, and damn, it was some cool stuff. Actually, I'll talk about this. They have these things called swag. Little yeah, swag. They're basically little electronic kits with games on it and all that. And this year they actually managed to figure out how to put a little speaker on it as well. So now it has some songs on it as well as some really fun games.
I
And
thought you were
it's
gonna
just
say they managed to play Doom on it.
actually you probably could play Doom on it. It fully wouldn't surprise me.
Bro, I saw someone playing Doom on a thermostat. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Did you know that you can play Doom in a PDF file now?
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so fucking cool.
man,
Uh
it's crazy.
yeah. But yeah, no. So and the Switch this year has like bunch of new games and like can play music now, and it's just so freaking cool.
They
And
played
they
they
played
played
with
Doom with
Doom with the
fungus.
fungus. I remember that. God, so stupid, so amazing. And the Swatch this year has a shell that you can put on it as just a outer layer, and it's it's a freaking chili dog in theme with the Sonic
The Sonic stuff,
theme.
yeah.
Yeah, and like they made a specific one that was only available if you paid like above a certain tier,
Hmm.
and that Swedge is a foot long dog,
Whoa.
like literally a foot long plastic thing.
Question:
Yeah,
how many people in attendance tried to put that in their butt? You
no
know, at least
comment.
someone tried it.
No comment. No
You
comment.
know, at least someone
I
tried
will
that
say
shit.
no comment and move on. I may or may not know.
Yeah. Oh my god. Um, was that it?
Yeah.
Okay, good, good. I don't want to talk about hot dogs and butts anymore. Then, um, I can talk about something equally as depressing though, because I got two movies I want to talk about. One that makes me depressed, and one that makes me incredibly happy. I'll get
Oh
the
boy.
bad news out. I'll get the bad news out of the way first. There's a new Star Trek movie out. You wouldn't know that because it's not in theaters. It's only available on Paramount Plus. That 5 people in the world have a subscription to.
Direct to streaming.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much everything Star Trek now is like direct to Paramount Plus, which is really depressing. I don't know. It's almost like they have no faith in the kind of stuff that they're making, and they want to hide it on their streaming platform that no one has a subscription to. It's funny that. Um, but no, it's called Section 31. If you're a Star Trek fan, you know what Section 31 is. This movie,
That's their Black Ops, right?
yeah, essentially. Uh, it sucks. Like, it's really, really bad. It is so bad that even IGN gave it a 2 out of 10.
Holy shit, they couldn't pay IGN off enough?
They couldn't
Damn.
even pay IGN to say this was even a mid movie. They gave it. They said that it was so. The only redeeming thing about it in their review, because I read that, and the redeeming thing about it was like the music, and it was the only thing keeping them from giving it a 1 out of 10, their lowest score. It's
Damn.
it's so
That's
depressing. Like
bad.
the state of like as bad as we like, well, myself and I think Natalia Khan, yes, like dig on Star Wars and the state of Star Wars now. Um Star Trek is dead. Like, it is 100% a dead franchise. They have taken it behind the woodshed, and they have got their Brunelli M4, and they've put so many slugs into this thing you can't even recognize it anymore.
That's genuine. Like, say what you will of Star Wars. At least it's alive and has a fandom and like
Well,
has multiple different projects.
I will say that, well, so does Star Trek. It's just they're all bad.
Yeah. Not
At
every
least
project in Star Wars is bad.
I will say, at least with Star Wars, they have had one or two good things that has happened to it. Like the Andor series, at least the first season was good. Um, I think that Rogue One was a pretty decent Star Wars movie, especially as a standalone. Probably
I
wouldn't
thought
have
it was
gotten.
fan-fucking-tastic.
I think it's the best Star Wars movie that Disney has made so far.
Oh, full
Um,
agree.
but I mean, like, and the Mandalorian, at least the first 2 seasons, I thought were really good. The Book of Boba Fett was kind of,
It was mid at best.
it really feels like a Mandalorian season 2.5.
That's what it was, realistically.
um, and then I haven't watched any of the Star Wars animated stuff that's come out. Um, but I will say, at least there are some bright spots within Star Wars. For like every
And that's
good, for every bad thing that comes out, there's like maybe half of a good thing that comes out.
that's not even wandering into the books and comics. I haven't gone into the comics myself, but I do listen to the books through audiobook form,
Yeah.
holy shit, they are really fucking good. I mean, like, actually good books.
But Star Trek, man, this shit's dead. Like
And
the
that's
last
genuinely sad.
the last halfway decent. I will say the one bright spot since Enterprise was canceled in 2005 was the third season of Star Trek Picard. That shit was good, but you have to slog through the first two seasons of it, and the first two seasons of that show suck absolute major ass.
Ugh.
And that's the only good thing, like genuinely good, great thing that's come out of Star Trek since then. Since the cancellation of Enterprise in '05, we've got the J.J. Abrams movies, which the first one was okay, but then like Into Darkness is awful and Beyond is unwatchable. Um, and then
I'll never
Discovery
forgive
is
Jar
just
Jar Abrams.
yes, yeah. And then Discovery is just god awful. I don't know how that got 5 fucking seasons.
I did hear a lot of good things about the animated Star Trek show, Below Decks or
Lower
something.
Decks.
Lower Decks, yeah.
See, lower, and that actually just ended. Lower Decks is a weird one because it's kind of Star Trek doing a spoof on itself. Like it's like a self-parody kind of thing, which
I
I
heard
don't
that's
judge it.
why it was good.
I don't judge it as harshly as I judge the other stuff because it's meant to be a funnier take on the Star Trek universe. And I'm okay with that. It has its moments where it's like it's genuinely funny and kind of good, and it's got these nice nods to canon and stuff, especially older like canon that hasn't been talked about in a while. Um, but like, Discovery is awful. The first two seasons of Picard were awful. Yeah, exactly. Lower Decks is very mixed with me. One of the most unique things is they have a series that's airing right now called Strange New Worlds, which is supposed to be harkening back to like Star Trek the original series. It's very episodic in nature. It's not a serialized storytelling like a lot of Star Trek is now. Um, One unique thing is that there is a crossover with the animated show Lower Decks. And it's weird because the two main characters in the animated
Is
show,
it in the same art style?
no, it's not animated at all. So they
Oh,
actually got the
oh.
voice actors who play the characters that cross over into Strange New Worlds to play themselves in live action.
Oh, that's so cool. I love it when they do that.
Yeah, and they instead of trying to make it like work the other way around, they actually just made the voice actors look like they're animated characters in live action. Which it was unique, and that particular episode of Strange New Worlds I thought was pretty decent. But then, like for every good episode of Strange New Worlds, there's like 5 bad ones.
Oh, that's so sad. That's actually sad.
Um, the cat doctor would be good friends with McCoy. Yeah, there's things I like about it, but overall, I can't say that it's good. And then, this new movie really is bad. Like really, it's laughably bad. It looks, you know what it looks like? It
What?
looks like a fan project from like the mid
Oh.
2000s,
Oh no.
just with a really big CGI budget. And the CGI is terrible, by the way.
How are you gonna have a big budget? How are you gonna have a Paramount budget and bad CGI? Oh,
Because
that
clearly they
is
know what they're doing with Sonic the Hedgehog. Because that's Paramount
actually,
too.
yeah. And that looks really good, especially Sonic 3. I thought Sonic 3 looked fantastic
Yeah.
visuals wise.
I just,
Oh
man,
man.
it's so sad to me, especially as a longtime Star Trek fan, because I know how good it can be when you got people like behind the scenes that know what they're doing and love the source material. It's like, but the people in charge of it now, for whatever reason, they keep giving Alex Kurtzman more money to make more Star Trek. This man sucks. He's a terrible writer. Like, it's funny with Alex Kurtzman. Every so often, I'll be watching an old movie, like just random old like popcorny action movie, and his name will
Uh-huh.
show up in the credits, and I'm like, yeah, yeah. He
And
wrote the
yet he
first
keeps on getting
Transformers movie,
jobs.
by the way.
Which one?
The Michael Bay one.
Oh, the
The
Bay
first
films.
the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. He wrote that.
So I actually really like those. I don't know why, but like I think it's just the
See,
fact that they're big, dumb, fun action movies.
that's it. That's the whole thing. Like I watched those Transformers movies, the Michael Bay ones. Is it Michael Bay that's still directing the Transformers movies, or is it a new director? Because I haven't paid
I
attention
think
to
it's
it in
a
a while.
new director because like there's a reboot that happened.
Hmm.
Hold
Well,
on, let me look it up.
regardless, like I watch those for the exact same way you do. Like I don't go in expecting like high concept stuff. I just go in expecting to be entertained with like dumb big action set pieces. And for most of those Michael Bay Transformers movies, that's exactly what they are.
Uh and you know
Um,
what? Like the shameful part is like it they can do they can do better is the sad part.
yeah. Um, yeah, exactly. Like I 100% love if Paramount would get rid of Alex Kurtzman, but apparently he's under some kind of contract and he can't leave. I don't know. He must have some really great pictures of someone at Paramount to keep giving him all this money to make these failed projects. Um,
Damn, Alex.
it's all I can
Damn.
think of at this point that he has like fucking just absolute blackmail material on someone at Paramount. Um, but yeah, I don't know, because clearly like new Star Trek can be good when good people are behind it, because Terry Matalas was the showrunner for Picard season 3 and that was amazing. He's been a Star Trek fan for a very long time. I think he's worked on Star Trek in the past, and he's very passionate about like where the franchise came from. And you can tell that when you watch the third season of Picard. The third season of Picard is the Next Generation movie we never got but always wanted. That's really what it is.
Actually, yeah, no, I have heard that same thing. Also, they don't have a the Transformers movies, the new ones, that the reboot that started with Bumblebee and then went into Transformers Rise of the Beast, don't have anyone specific that goes on. The first movie was directed Bumblebee was directed by Travis Knight, and the second movie was directed by Stephen Caple Jr.
I'm not familiar with either of these people.
Yeah. So it seems like it's more over the big company that owns them.
Hmm.
Whoever that is. I completely forgot.
I don't know.
Paramount?
This
Tencent?
this I
Paramount. It's Paramount.
it's like I said, it's sad to me as a longtime Star Trek fan to see how far this franchise has fallen. I feel like I hate to say this about, because I think Star Wars could actually benefit from this too. Take some time off. Take like 5 or 10 years off. Don't make any new shit. Come back with all new people that have passion for the thing that you're making, and then see what you can make. Because I think we need a break. We really do.
Yeah, and like a lot of these studios and such are so desperate for money that they've lost out on the creative aspect
It's
of it.
it's an
And it's like,
established
yeah, I get
names.
it. Yeah, and I get it. You're a business. You're supposed to be for the money and creating money, and like you're supposed to be making money for the stockholders and all that. But like if you're gonna be putting out such bad products and constantly losing money, like what the hell are you doing killing off your franchises like that? Because you can keep them going for a really long time with good work. Like
Hmm.
it's a bigger cash cow in the long term if you can keep pumping out good work if you steadily do it.
Yeah. Which is why I think Star Trek was so successful in the late 80s and through most of the 90s, is because they were constantly pumping out good, fresh stuff, especially with the last few seasons of Next Generation. Most of Deep Space Nine was pretty good. And then you had Voyager toward the end of the 90s, which was all right. It had some great points in it, it had some low points in it. But then you get to like Enterprise in the early 2000s, and it's like, yeah, the creativity's run its course. Um, I don't know. I definitely think that both Star Trek and Star Wars, but definitely Star Trek for sure, would benefit from just putting everything on pause for a while and then um, coming back with new people. Um,
Oh shit, are you serious? They scrapped the shared universe? Oh.
I didn't even know there was supposed to be a shared universe thing.
So at the end of the Rise of Beast thing, like throughout the movie you had some people that showed up that was part of the government, and they're being all mysterious government thing and all
Mhm.
that, and like at the end of the movie you find out that that government organization was GI Joe, and it was just like such a cool, oh shit, that's so awesome, they're saying there's gonna be a cool crossover movie kind of thing, and apparently they canceled it. I'm just like, damn.
That's kind of like Universal canceling the whole monster universe thing because Universal has the rights to a lot of these old monster movies, and they were trying to make like a shared universe between all of them. That's what they
Yeah, the Dark Monster Universe or whatever.
yeah,
I
and
know it
they
was
did make
Dark
a couple
something,
of
yeah.
those movies, and they were starting to establish like an actual shared universe, but then no one was going to see these movies.
Wait, what do you mean they made it? They only made one. They made
They
the
made two.
reboot Mummy.
No, they made
What
two
other
because the
one?
Invisible Man was supposed to be part of that universe as well.
I don't remember that
That was
movie.
it was a Tom Cruise movie and it bombed. But yeah, that was supposed to
I
be part
don't
of like the
remember
whole monster verse thing that Universal was trying to start doing too. And both of those movies were complete and absolute abysmal failures, which is kind of a shame. I think with Invisible Man it was a lot of timing stuff because that came out right before COVID got really bad and we started doing the lockdowns. So I think it
Oh,
was a
that's horrible
timing
timing then.
because
Yeah.
because I've seen the movie. The movie itself is actually not bad. The Mummy one sucked.
Ironically, I actually enjoyed it, but probably because Hot Goth
Well,
Mummy.
I wish they would reboot Stargate because I love that. Stargate's had a ton of like spin-offs and stuff though. I think you kind of run the gambit with Stargate.
I do
Don't
need
get me
to
wrong, I
watch
like it
that
too.
still.
I
Dracula
like it too.
Untold movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was also part of the MonsterVerse thing they were trying to set up. Yeah. I forgot about that one. But yeah, they were all not well received, at least financially. So it kind of killed the project.
Yeah. End of the day, unfortunately, it's all about the money, and if it doesn't flow, then they're like, yeah, we're not giving this a chance. This is canceled. Instead of
Yeah.
like, oh, there's might have a chance, even if we took a loss on this. Let's keep going, see if we can make anything
Yeah.
out. Because Hollywood has a bad thing of not paying attention to the actual people and what they're saying. Because a lot of people I've talked to said, yeah, no, they're like, this was kind of bad, but the overall idea did seem good. So, like, I wish they did more just to give it a chance. Because sometimes you get good things out of bad beginnings. Like, it's happened multiple times.
Yeah. Do you know I can point to something that is exactly like that? Star Trek: The Next Generation. The first season is absolutely god awful.
And then you got the great amount of Star
Everything else
Trek.
that well, I can't say everything else that comes after that because there's some duds in season 2, but everything from like the end of season 3 afterwards, just beautiful. It's beautiful. Um, but kind of going off of that and also talking about monsters as well, I saw Nosferatu. That's
Yeah, that was the reboot, right?
not a remake.
Remake,
Um,
yeah. Remake, I
but
mean,
yeah, it's
not
a
reboot.
remake of the original movie from 1922. It's a silent film from 1922. Written and directed by Robert Eggers, who also wrote and directed The Witch back in 2015, I believe. He also did The Lighthouse, which is one of my absolute favorites movies that's come out in like the last 10 years. Um, and he also did The Northman, which came out a few years ago, and now this, Nosferatu. All of those are feature films he has written and directed. In fact, all of his feature films so far, he has been the writer director on. Um, but this movie was fan fucking tastic. I went into this thing with almost zero expectations. I've seen the original 1922 silent film. There was also a remake in 1970. 78. I think it's 1970 something, I believe. It was made by Werner Herzog, another great German director. Um, and that was also pretty good. But this one, man, whew, that's some good shit in this movie, man. Um, for a movie, what is this? Ostensibly a horror movie. Um, is that true? Wait a minute. That
He
is
was a
true.
hundred. Yeah, he was 100. Yeah.
Yeah, that movie came out in 1922, so he would have been a couple of years old. No, he was 100 years. No, Jimmy Carter was 100. He made it to the triple digits. He's pieced out.
Holy shit, that's
He was
wow.
alive for all three versions of Nosferatu. That's crazy. I didn't even think of that. Um, but yeah, this movie is absolutely fantastic. It does exactly what I think a remake should do. It harkens back to the original while elevating the original. So the original is one of the very first like genuine horror movies. Like, and it's iconic. Today you look at it and it kind of looks goofy, but if you
Yeah.
look at it with like eyes on the time that it was made, this was fucking horrifying when it came out. And I think that I think that this does what a good remake should do. It takes the original, it builds on it, and it harkens back to it. Um, the acting in this is phenomenal, by the way. It's got my boy Willem Dafoe in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's actually been in a couple of Eggers films now. He was in The Lighthouse. He was one of the two main characters in The Lighthouse. If you've never seen that movie, by the way, Chinoda, you should watch it. It's phenomenal.
I was interested based off the trailers. I never went to actually see it in theaters, but like I was like, oh, a non-color film in this day and age. Okay, this might be interesting.
It is an absolutely phenomenal movie. And I can't think of a better person to write and direct this. Eggers has talked about how he likes doing these kind of period pieces, and he just hates the idea of even making a movie in the modern like times. He did an interview recently where he's like, the idea of having to film a car physically disgusts me.
Wow. I mean, hey, if the man likes what he likes and wants to do it, freaking fund him because everything he's done apparently has been fantastic.
I've loved every single one of his feature films. I haven't watched any of his short films yet, but all of his feature films are great. And The Witch, yes. Willem Dafoe was also in The Witch too, I believe. It's been a long time since I actually seen The Witch, but that's also a good movie. Something I love about him is his movies have dialogue that is very appropriate to the time. So like this particular movie takes place like the original does in like mid 1800s Germany. And they talk like people, they use like words and stuff that people back then would use. They don't use like modern slang terms and stuff like that. And that's one thing I love about Eggers' writing is he takes great pains in making sure that
To make it a true period piece.
yeah, to make it a true period piece, to make it so these people are talking like people back then would talk, even if it sounds somewhat offensive to us today,
No, I mean, but
which
that's
I
the point of a
appreciate.
period piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but I really wish Natai was here to talk about it with me too, because he's seen the movie as well. We both saw it in theaters.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and this is one of the most beautifully shot movies I've seen in a long time. Like the movie is very dark, and I mean that like literally and figuratively. Like so many of the shots are filmed like in shadow with like cascading shadows over the characters. They use a lot of natural lighting in both the
Ooh.
outdoor and indoor scenes. Um and there's very minimal use of CGI. Like there's a lot of almost all of the special effects shots are practical effects where possible, and that's something that Eggers himself is really big on as well. Kind of like Christopher Nolan. Both of those filmmakers are very big on anywhere we can put practical effects. We're definitely going to do it. I don't care if it means I have to get a giant bomb from the U.S. military. We're going to do it. Um,
Eh, I could believe it. I could believe it.
and the tone, like through this movie, like it is ostensibly a horror movie, but it's not like filled with jump scares. There's only like two jump scares in this entire movie. There's one at the very beginning, and there's one about at the 2/3 mark. And those are like really the only jump scares in this movie. The rest of it is like the movie itself has this sense of dread and foreboding throughout the entire film.
So
And it's
more concept
great.
horror.
Kinda like so obviously being a remake of the original, they take a lot of cues in the story from the original. The original 1922 movie is an unauthorized adaptation of Bram Stoker's Dracula. And the way they thought they were going to get around it back then was to change the names and the setting of all the characters.
Okay.
So instead of Count Dracula, you have Count Orlok, and instead of Renfield, I cannot remember what the Renfield character's name is in this movie, um, but it's some Germany sounding name. Um, and so I, they thought they were going to get away with it. It turns out that they did not. Bram Stoker's widow said, "No, I need money, and you can't do this." So back in the day, there was an order that was put forth to have all the copies of the film destroyed.
Oh,
Ob- Obviously, that didn't happen because we
holy
actually
shit.
still
I mean,
have the
yeah, thank
original
God.
film. By the way, you can watch all of the original film legally on YouTube.
Oh yeah, because it's that old, right?
It's 1922. Um, but just the way that this is done, like the cinematography is great. There's a scene in this which mirrors a scene in the original 1922 film where the main character gets approached by a horse-drawn carriage. And like the framing of this scene is so fucking perfect because you see it like in the distance coming toward the camera and it's like real foggy and dark and shit. And you can hear the horse and carriage approaching before you can actually see it. And so it's this really like pounding bass of the horses galloping and stuff. And then you see it, and then there's like this immediate jump cut to like the horses rearing up, and then it just jumps again to his like the dude's expression of like shock. And there's like this really slow panning shot back towards the carriage, and the door opens. It's so good. It's so like weird and foreboding, and I absolutely love it.
Huh. Okay, no, this sounds really really well done actually. All right, I
Also,
might
this
actually have
this
to check this out.
this movie stars Craven the Hunter himself.
Craven the Hunter. What?
You know the movie Craven the Hunter that just came out and it was a fucking
Oh,
bomb, right?
right. I already forgot about it. God, yeah.
Aaron something, whatever his name is. Um, yeah, it's got Willem Dafoe in it. It's got Johnny Depp's daughter is in this movie as well. Um,
Really?
yeah, she plays the main female character. She does a great job, by the way. Absolutely phenomenal job. Um, I want him to cover an H.P. Lovecraft story. Now that would be interesting
That
to
would be
see
really cool.
Eggers
Yeah.
do H.P. Lovecraft. Although that might actually be too recent of a time because like H.P. Lovecraft stories, a lot of them take place in like the late 1800s, early 1900s.
He
Um,
might. He might be willing to do that.
he might do an adaptation of one if he could like change the time period back to something like early 1800s, which I think could still work for an H.P. Lovecraft story. Um, but yeah, it watching this film and seeing how well done it was. Not the acting is great. The cinematography is absolutely fucking fantastic. It just further cements my love for Robert Eggers as a filmmaker. Um, right up there with like people like Christopher Nolan. Like I absolutely love all their movies, and I can't wait to see more. Around 1920s, yeah, I feel like that'd be too new for him. So if he could put an H.P. Lovecraft story set in like the 1820s, he might do that. Which I still think could
Heck,
work
maybe
for.
even the late 1800s.
I think like an 1800s Lovecraft story could still work. Um, but I'm looking forward to seeing his next film. He's already actually announced his next film. It's again going to be a period monster movie. It's going to be it's called Werewolf.
Ooh.
I'll give you one guess as to figure out what it's about. But yeah, it's an actual like werewolf story that takes place. I believe it's going to be taking place in London in the 13th or 14th century. He says. And
Ooh.
apparently he's writing this. It's going to be a lot of it in Middle English. A lot of the dialogue is going to be in Middle English.
Now that'll
So,
be actually a bit difficult to perform as well as to understand.
yeah.
Like
Um,
performance wise, they'll at least probably I mean they'll definitely have linguists on set to help the actors and all that.
mhm.
But oh man, to actually understand it, that would be difficult because like that's like it is still English, sure, but it's practically a different language.
It is.
Like English has changed a ton since those times.
Yeah, that's coming out in 2026. It says Christmas of 2026. So I'm looking forward to that. Yes, I was actually just about to mention that. He has also signed on to write and direct and produce a sequel to the David Bowie movie Labyrinth.
Huh.
I don't know how they're gonna do that without David Bowie being alive, but okay,
I'm sure
sure.
they've cooked up something.
Listen, I his films have all been phenomenal so far, so I trust. I absolutely trust. That doesn't have any kind of release date so far, but yeah, totally looking forward to these next two movies he's got coming out.
Didn't
Robert
they
Eggers is great.
do a little bit recently David Bowie biopic or something?
Did they? I know there was a biopic that came out recently about um Neil Young, not Neil Young, Bob Dylan, with Timothy Chalamet. But maybe I don't know. If there is, I haven't heard of it, and if it came out recently, they haven't been promoting it heavily.
Stardust 2020.
Oh, it came out in 2020.
Yeah, it came out in
Oh,
2020.
maybe that's why I
And
don't remember it because that year was a little crazy.
yeah, kind of a bit much.
A bit,
Johnny
yeah.
Flynn played David Bowie. Okay.
I have not seen that, but yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what Eggers can come up with for a Labyrinth sequel. I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I have very fond memories of it. That's for sure. Um, anyway, yeah, those are two movies that I've seen recently that had very different reactions from me.
Well, sounds good. I'll probably check out what you recommended eventually.
Yeah, watch Nosferatu. It's definitely worth your time. It is a 2 hour long movie, but it is well worth your time.
No, if it's worth it, it's worth it. Okay. Um, I guess I'll move on to my thing.
Go ahead.
Probably last thing I'll talk about. The Konosuba Fantastic Games Gotcha game just shut down yesterday, and I'm
R.I.P.
really sad about it. Yeah.
R.I.P.
It was genuinely RIP though. It was the only gotcha game that I actually played, especially for some time. It was the only thing I got in because it was Konosuba and I really loved the franchise, and it was like original to the game stories and like original characters that were in there, but like they really fit in well with everyone and like the personality of all the characters that we know and love.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, wow, we're not gonna have them again, and that's just super, super freaking sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it happens. I mean that's kind of the issue. I guess I'm assuming this was a sort of live service game since they're shutting it down.
Yeah, I mean, all gotcha
Um,
games are.
but that's kind of the thing with these live service games. It's like once there's no money to be made in it, there's no like incentive for the companies that make them to keep them going.
Yeah, and we don't know exactly what it specifically was. That all they said was due to specific circumstances they had to shut the game down. So we're not sure if it was actually specifically money if or if it was something else.
Could have been a
But
licensing thing.
it could have been a licensing thing. We just don't know, unfortunately. Um,
It's weird phrasing though. Specific circumstances,
yeah, instead of just saying, yeah, it's not making that much money anymore, we're
or just saying
canceling
we're
it.
shutting it down because it's run its course.
Yeah, or that. Like a lot of other games have said that, but this specifically said due to specific circumstances. And we're just
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, it's either licensing or it's something else.
Hey, Classy Ulysses. We answered
Hey,
two of your
classy.
questions
Yeah.
earlier. If you get a chance, go back and watch it. Um,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
And
my
like,
guess, I would say licensing would probably be the best bet.
yeah, and just a lot of the community is kind of in mourning right now, and like there's been a lot of like fan art that's being done right now saying goodbye, and just like everyone sharing their stories of like people they met playing
So
it, or
when
just whatever.
these gotcha games, especially these mobile gotcha games, shut down like this, if you go and try and launch the game on your phone, what happens?
It
Are your PNGs still there?
No, no, no. So unless there's an offline version available, it just it will try to launch and then say fail.
Like a
It really
network
depends
connection
on,
error or
yeah.
something?
Yeah, basically like connection error, or for a couple days, weeks, whatever, they'll be like, thank you for playing, this game is over. Um like a goodbye message, and then eventually it'll just be a network error, uh
Okay.
essentially. Yeah. And the really, really sad part is this was very much sudden, because like they could only do a offline version for the Japanese version, not the global version.
Oh.
So that's how you truly know like it was something really on the back end that happened, is why they had to shut it down.
See, I think that when these games shut down like this, because like you said, it happens to all gotcha games. It happens to all mobile games in
Yeah,
general.
unfortunately. It's the
Um,
fate of all games that are
I feel
gotcha.
like when you get these games that where the whole point is to collect these PNGs, there
By
should be a
spending
way.
money.
Yeah, well, some people do get them by actually playing the game and never spending money. But yeah, a lot of people spend money to get them.
Difficult,
Um,
yeah.
there should be a way. There should be a way for you to at least save the character art.
No, seriously. And like a lot of people took screenshots, and like all the all of the story and events that were available for global
Yeah.
is like on YouTube and all that, which I'm thankful for. So I can relive it just by watching that on there, but like I can't ever actually go to the game itself, launch it in an offline version, and watch the stories or whatever, or like appreciate the art or even the music. There, in this game itself, there's they had a band called the Axel Hearts, and like they did game original songs for it, and like it was great songs, genuinely stuff I really like. But like now, other than like on YouTube, I can't ever actually launch the application to actually listen to it and watch it. And I'm just like, yeah, that's a
Mm-hmm.
shame. Like the fact that we
Yeah,
don't have a global offline version.
I mean, yeah, it's good that you can still see like the music stuff on YouTube, and yeah, you can take screenshots of the stuff. But I feel like for games like this, when they're gonna shut down, there should be some kind of way for you to save at least the character art, especially if the whole mechanic of the gotcha is collecting characters and different outfits and stuff like that.
Seriously,
I don't think that would
it's
be
just
too
such a
much to
shame.
ask. I don't know. Maybe it is too much to ask. I don't know. Our resident game designer could probably answer that question.
Yeah.
But
I,
but then it entices you to go play the next gotcha game so you can collect more PNGs.
if they even make it, I don't know.
I don't know the way because how you're describing it sounds kind of sudden.
It
So
is very sudden. It is.
it makes me wonder if there was just some kind of massive licensing issue that they didn't foresee when they originally made the game.
Oh, so here is another thing as well. It actually changed company hands a
Oh,
while ago. Yeah.
that explains a lot. Then it could very well be a licensing issue. Then
Yeah, cuz it was oh, I forgot who originally made it. But yeah, it changed hands and like it was running fine for a good while. So it wasn't immediately after it changed hands,
maybe the
but
new
we
company that
just don't
has
know.
the like actual game, the rights to the game, maybe they just don't see it as a priority.
Maybe I don't know. Like the game was doing pretty damn well, and there were lots of people playing the game and spending money on it. So I'm not sure what exactly
Hmm.
it was.
Yeah, it's kind of the nature of the like the mobile game market though. It's very disposable.
Yeah,
Like
actually,
mobile,
Orky, you
yeah,
capture it
exactly.
perfectly.
Like
Yeah,
they can become
and that's to
lost
do with
because there's no other way to download them except from these app stores in a lot of cases.
and this actually has to do with game preservation itself, and it's just such
Now,
a shame.
is there a lot of shovelware that's gotcha games? Yes, but
Like
still,
even ignoring the shovelware, unfortunately,
yeah.
you just miss out on a lot of things.
It's kind of why I'm always very hesitant to do any kind of mobile games, especially gotcha games. Like I don't even like the gotcha mechanic in general already, but I
Yeah, I
also
hate the
know
gotcha
that
mechanic.
these games, unless they're super popular, something like Genshin or Azure Lane or something that's gonna continue going because it gets boatloads of money for the companies that make them, and they have an actual financial incentive to keep the games active. Um, I know that eventually this is going to happen, and it's not going to be worth any of the money that I put into it.
Yep. Hell, even Genshin, eventually it's gonna go offline.
Yeah,
Eventually there's gonna be no money
but
to it,
eventually,
and they'll
if Genshin is so good, why is there no Genshin 2? Uh,
see you later,
hey,
Classy. Thanks for
thanks for
joining.
stopping by. I hope you enjoy listening to the whole podcast later. Um, but yeah, that's my whole fear. Like, obviously, that can happen with non-mobile gotcha games too, or just non-mobile games in general. Um, I know we kind of make fun of it on the podcast a little bit, but like Helldivers 2. Eventually, that game is not going to be supported anymore, and you
Yeah,
won't be able to play it.
and like it's a damn shame, especially considering like you can do a single player, but like
You
considering
can, but
it's all online.
you
Like
can,
eventually,
and
if they
it's
decide to take the servers down, you're not going to be able to play it.
yeah. I mean, even if a bunch of people stop playing it, and there's only say a couple of hundred people that are still playing it, yeah, you can play the game just by yourself. I would argue it's nowhere near as fun. Although I haven't played it in months, so maybe it has gotten better. I know there's a lot of people that say it has gotten a lot better in the last few months. Um, but eventually the servers that the games are hosted on are going to shut down, and I don't think there's any way that the game has mechanically for you to play the game locally.
Yeah,
So
specifically offline. I don't think there is,
I
because it's one of those always online games.
yeah.
So unless they made a offline version available, like you download a good amount of data
Hmm.
and just launch the game through that, you're not going to have it. And that's probably the eventual fate of it. Now, who knows when that's going to happen? It's probably a good while away based on how many people are still playing the game. But unless they make a local offline version available, that's the fate of it eventually.
Yeah. And it's kind of the fate of all live service games, honestly. Whether you're
Hmm.
talking about a mobile game or something that's a console game or a PC game, it's eventually there's not going to be enough people playing it to financially support the game having all these servers to play the game on. I mean, it's I guess the only way you could maybe combat that is to have people have their own like personal servers, even if there's a way for the um the game to support that. I don't know.
I genuinely don't know, and then I don't know what the answer to
That's
that
another
is.
that's another good point with Helldivers 2 specifically. There's a literal GM behind the scenes that's controlling things. So if there's no GM controlling the game, how does it work?
Yeah, like there's not going to be any eventual like maybe you could still have every system where you're going to certain planets to fight certain factions, and that's it. And
I
I
mean,
would
I
think that's the
guess
only thing you can do.
the argument would probably be, well, you can actually have it be automated, but would that be anywhere near as fun? You take away the human element from it.
I
I don't
don't
know.
think it
It's
would.
it's something that I think about with a lot of these live service games. I know that there's a lot of these live service games that when they launch, they are incredibly fun, but 4, 5, 6 years down the road, when a lot fewer people are playing it, especially if it's something that's really fallen off in popularity, is it something that the team that made it is going to want to keep supporting, or are they going to want to move on to the next project?
Oh boy, I don't know. I
That's
don't know.
like, to me, that live service games are kind of a mixed bag for me in that regard. Like, I love the
Lots of
idea.
fun, but
I
yeah,
love the idea. The problem is that, 15, 20 years from now, I'm not going to be able to ever play this game again. And that kind of makes me sad, because even today, I can go back and play something like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask and not have to worry about servers being up for me to play it.
yeah, no, seriously. Hell, if I wanted to go play my Pokemon Platinum, I could.
Now, I would not tell Nintendo about this because they will hunt me down and kill me, but
Other ways to play it is all we will say, and that's it.
I mean,
Nintendo, put away the gun.
I still have my GameCube.
Yeah, if you have the physical game still, that's fine. Although if it ever corrupts or breaks down, God help you, because
Yeah,
they don't make them anymore.
no. Thankfully, there are people out there that repair old game consoles still,
Yeah.
but it's expensive.
And the fact is, once they pass, like, will that
Well,
even
yeah, it's
happen?
like it's like the people out there that like still fix TVs.
It's like there's probably an eventual end date to CRTVs. And like that's a day I don't want to see happen because I genuinely love gaming on those old TVs. It's genuinely a fun time. I love the style of those TVs, the sounds they make. Like they are very specific. You can't replicate that. You
Man, there's
can't.
nothing that tickles like the animal part of my brain quite like pushing in that really heavy button on a CRT TV and hearing dong.
Seriously. And then like just the feel of the static up against the screen, it's something else.
Glad we got private servers for games like Halo multiplayer and Club Penguin. At least I can't speak to Club Penguin, but at least with Halo we have like the Master Chief collection, and I almost said 343. They're not called that anymore. Halo Studios
God,
seems to
such a
have a
stupid name.
vested interest in keeping that going, and there still seems to be a pretty vibrant Halo multiplayer experience, even for the old games with the Master Chief collection. And apparently, it's coming to PlayStation 5 now, so
Yeah, I've been hearing rumors of that. I'm just like, cool, good. Like
yeah,
personally
cool.
speaking,
Destroy your flagship fucking exclusive. That's great.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna say good. I'm glad people get to who never got to try out Halo can play it on their own systems. Like I don't give a
That's
shit where it's
that
played. Like
that's
join the
cool.
community.
That's
Long
cool and
term, it's
all.
better.
That's cool and all. I don't think long term it's better, because if you don't have any console exclusives, there's no reason whatsoever to buy your console. Because the what's the newest Xbox Series X
Yep.
uh, and the PlayStation 5 ostensibly can do the same stuff. Like
Oh yeah.
they can obviously play games, but they're also like home entertainment centers, because you got like your streaming apps that run through those too. So in that sense, they're kind of the same piece of hardware. The only difference really are the exclusives that they play.
Pretty much, yeah.
And if Microsoft is going to go this route of, oh, we're just going to, put most of our stuff on every single platform ever because we feel like that's going to be the best way to make as much money as possible on our games. Yeah, you're going to have more people playing your games on more different platforms, but there's going to be no reason for people to buy your hardware anymore.
Yeah, there's going to be a cost to it. And unfortunately, the fact that people will not be buying the Xbox console might be the death knell for it, which is kind of scary because I
I
absolutely need Sony and Nintendo to have that competition of Xbox.
See, I think it will potentially lead to the death of Xbox as hardware. I still think Microsoft is going to be in the game space like a software company, like Sega. Sega used to
Oh
make
yeah.
hardware and now they only do software stuff.
I can see that happening. It's kind of a scary thought, but I can unfortunately see that happening.
I said this years ago, and I still think we're on a slow trajectory to it. I think there's only eventually going to be Nintendo still making consoles. And I think that both Sony and Microsoft will eventually realize, hey, we can just put all of our stuff on PC. We can just spend all this money that we're using in developing hardware and just put it on PC. Save all that money in research and development and just put it on PC.
It's kind of a scary thought.
I
Like,
don't think that's going to happen anytime within the next 5 years or something, but I think I could be completely wrong, but I think that sometime within the next 10 years, maybe 15.
I don't know. All I know is we'll see whatever happens.
What's the
I do
racing game I
want.
play? Forza. Forza is the one I play a lot of. And I think that is, yeah, like I think that is also coming to PlayStation, which that was an Xbox and PC exclusive as well, and now it's not.
Cool.
Again, like, what is the incentive to buy to buy an Xbox over PlayStation? The only thing, if Microsoft like fully commits to this and says that they're not gonna do like console exclusives anymore, the only like foreseeable advantage I can see is the controller, because Xbox has the best controller out there by far.
Yes and no. I really hope that they do some innovations on the Xbox controller because a lot of the things that the PlayStation controller can do, specifically the PS5 controller, are really cool. The sensitive pads and a lot of the audio and motion stuff you can do with the controller
Mm-hmm.
are really cool, really nice. But I love the feel of the Xbox controller and the durability of it as well.
I'm just saying, Shinoda. This thing right here has withstood a lot of punishment. I have
Oh,
beat the shit out of
absolutely.
this thing, and it
No,
still works.
I have multiple of them, and the fact that they have so many different designs that look cool as well. I genuinely love that aspect as well.
I mean, it can't be as bad as this.
I unironically enjoy that controller. It's so weird, but I
it's
just love the feel
such
of it.
it's such a weird controller. And yes, this is a USB and 64 controller.
Nice.
Um, and in fact, I have two of them. um, I got this to play Majora's Mask with. Um, but yeah, if Microsoft fully commits to it, though, I would not be surprised to be like the next thing it announces. Oh yeah, you can starting in 2026, you can use our controllers on PlayStation. It's like, well, then at that point, there's literally no. Just start making controllers. The only hardware you need to make now is controllers.
Unfortunately, I could see that. I could see that happen.
Um,
Although you would have to get Sony to agree to that, and I don't know if that
they're
would ever
agreeing to
work.
bring these exclusives to PlayStation, so I don't think it would be a huge stretch for them to say, yeah, we'll put some drivers on there for the Xbox controller. Why not?
Yeah, it's a big maybe.
I mean, I'm sure there's hardware modders out there that have figured out how to do it already.
Oh, sure, sure, absolutely.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird for me because back when I was a kid, I loved X. Like, fucking Halo was a big part of my, like, early childhood and teenage years. Um, my Xbox controller has been beaten and dropped many times and still works. Had a bit of a pain in charging since has been a bit of a pain in charging since the charging port has been as well. If the charging port
Damn,
is
you
bent
really
and it's
bent
still
it.
charging, that's crazy. That's wild. But still, that's again a testament to how durable these things are,
Yeah,
especially the
no.
original Xbox controller. Like, this is an Xbox One controller. The original Xbox controllers, you could throw those across the room over and over again, and they wouldn't break. You could also
Don't
kill
actually do
someone.
that. Yeah. But yeah, they are that durable. Specifically the Xbox One controllers. Holy shit, they made them different.
Yeah. Um, I mean, what was it they called it? The original Xbox controller, was it Brutus? Was that they had a name for it? Like, because how big it was. And the funny thing is,
Oh, the brute. I know what you're
was it
talking about.
Brutus or fucking Titan or something like that? It was, they had a nickname for it because of how big it was. And the funny thing is, when that came out, it was comically large for a video game controller.
Yes, this big
The
thing.
Duke, that's it.
The Duke, the Duke. Yeah, the Duke.
The Duke, man, that thing could take a beating, and you could beat
That
people
thing
to
can
death with
kill people.
it. But yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of fond memories of Xbox back in the day. Like Halo, like I said, was a big part of my um, like preteen and teenage years, and when I was a kid, like a young kid, I was a big Nintendo fanboy. I know a lot of people are shocked to hear that now because of how much I shit on Nintendo. But yeah, I used to absolutely adore Nintendo. And then the Xbox came out, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. And then I played Halo. I was like, well, this is really cool.
Good old nostalgia.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's
Times changed.
consoles are in a really weird place, right? I would say that gaming in general is kind of in a weird transitional period right now.
It genuinely has been, and I think we're at a state of we need to see where it goes because like that's all there is to it at this point.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a shame because I know there's a lot of people in the gaming space in the industry that are losing their jobs right now, and some of them are just genuinely good people that I'm sorry to see that they're losing their jobs, and these studios are closing and getting bought up, and it's like, can
The
we go back to how it used to be,
conglomerization
please?
of it, yeah. It's such a shame. And there's not too much we can do about it other than supporting the devs who make games and
Yeah, that we
support them
love.
when they make good games. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, people might say this is like maybe not the best thing to do, but I think it is. Like, point out, honestly point out when game developers and publishing studios make a mistake. Like, don't drag them through the mud because of one mistake, but like, if a game is not good, I think developers would rather hear that than just blind praise or nothing at all.
Or outright wild hatred like us gamers normally do.
Yeah,
Like, no, relax. Just talk to them like they're people.
like there's some kind of like drama going on now with the new Doom game that's about to come out, and people are saying like it's woke. I'm like, how? How could this game possibly?
How the fuck is Doom woke? Like, what?
I
You're
hate
killing
this.
demons. What's
I
woke about that?
well, you know what's funny? You mentioned that it's like it's killing demons and they're irredeemably evil. people are again, this is on Twitter, so take it with a grain of salt.
Oh, you
But
already said Twitter.
people are like, free run's not good because it teaches you to hate people who are different. And like, my dude, they are demons. They are stated directly in the story. They are irredeemably evil. They will never change. And it's like, yeah, but they're just different. Like, yeah, they're different because they're fucking evil.
Like, they literally eat people. What? What?
Let me.
What?
I'm like to myself. I would never get into an argument with these fucking people online because that's cringe. But I'm thinking to myself, let me explain it to you in terms you will understand. You know who else were just different people? Nazis were just kind of different people. It's such
absolute,
a
absolute
I
insanity.
hate what so much. It's not just video games, just entertainment discourse in general has devolved into, because the funny thing is the people on both sides, like on the extremes on both sides, are equally as annoying to me. The people who are like, the ones who just want all the super progressive stuff and every single thing regardless of context, and then the people who are always claiming about stuff being, woke all the time, they are equally as annoying to me.
Oh, absolutely. No, but both of those are like batshit. It's like, yo, I just want to play a good game. I don't care what the gender is, what color skin they have, what species they are. Just make the game good. That's all I care about.
Yeah. um I don't know. I hate to end this on a downer, but I really don't like the space that like entertainment discourse is in right now. It's funny because we're in that space. We talk about
Yeah.
anime all the time.
The discourse itself is so shitty, but luckily there is actual good entertainment itself that's
Yeah,
coming along.
you gotta look real hard to find some of it sometimes, but there is good stuff still coming out.
Yeah, and you know what? This year seems like it's going to be pretty good for some of the works that's coming. So
I
I'm looking
hope.
forward to it.
I always hope for the best. I always hope for the best. It's why a lot of times, even if I'm kind of leery on certain things, I'll say that I'm cautiously optimistic. It's like with GTA 6, like I said earlier, I'm cautiously optimistic about it. With the new Mafia game that's coming out that I'm looking forward to, I'm cautiously optimistic about it because I've been burned enough that I don't want to get my hopes up. Like, I really wanted Starfield to be good. I think you wanted Starfield to be good
I
too.
did too. Yeah, of course I did. I don't ever want a game to be bad. I don't ever want a show to be bad.
No,
I want
I
them to be
agree.
good. Yeah.
I fully admit that
Like
there's stuff out there. Well, I was gonna say I fully.
let me say this.
Oh,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Even if I don't necessarily enjoy it myself, if it's not my type or if I just
Yeah.
don't necessarily like it, doesn't mean I want it to be bad or think it's bad. It might be real fucking good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just not for me. And that's
Yeah.
completely fine. And you
Yeah.
were trying to say?
No, I was probably the exact same thing, really, is what I was trying to say. Like, I fully understand that there are games out there that I'm never going to resonate with, maybe because of the genre that it's in or the mechanics of the game. I get that. But I still want the game to do good for the sake of the people who like that kind of stuff and want to play it. Like, for example, I played Baldur's Gate 3. Did I think it was a great game? No. Did I have a lot of fun playing it? Not really. But I understand that a lot of people played it and had a great time with it. And I'm glad that they did. And that game obviously did well. I was never praying for its downfall. Same
Yeah.
with Witcher 4. The people, oh my god, the fucking discourse over Witcher 4 when the fucking trailer came out, and it's like, apparently you're not going to be playing as Geralt in the new Witcher game, and it's like, okay, why is that a problem for you? Because the person you're playing as is a woman who.
Like Syria of all people. And it's like, yo, that's dope as shit.
It's I think all these people that are screaming about it are literally, I won't say all, maybe they're, and I'm not
A
super deep
good
into Witcher lore.
majority.
Admittedly, I am not super deep into Witcher lore. Maybe there's an actual lore reason why Ciri shouldn't be the new like protagonist of the Witcher games and shouldn't be a Witcher. But I'm looking at it from the perspective of, wow, this trailer looks cool,
Yeah,
and
no,
the character of
legit.
Ciri is kind of cool. I don't know. It's the whole disc. I hate this. I hate this is what it's become, that we're prejudging stuff before it even remotely comes out, based on like trailers and shit. I mean, obviously a trailer is supposed to sell you on whatever the piece of entertainment is, but I don't know, like the
Yeah,
stuff that people
that's
took away from that trailer, the Witcher 4 trailer. It's like, did you watch the same fucking trailer I did? I watched and saw this looks pretty fucking cool.
legitimately, and it's that's why I not
Maybe the
necessarily
story will
will
be
ever
bad.
join in the discussion of it. I will appreciate it, and maybe with some like close friends, I'll talk about it. But in general, I'm just like, yeah, I saw it, and that's all I will
And
pretty much say. Because until actual reviews start coming out, and then like more gameplay, more story, until there's something that'll tell me, hey, maybe you'll like this, maybe you'll actually hate it for XYZ reasons,
yeah.
like instead of just a trailer, it's like, no, there's nothing to go off of until then.
And I mean, like I said, maybe the story will end up being shit. I don't know. I haven't played it. No one's played it yet. I don't even know what the story is, aside from the fact that apparently you're going to be playing as Ciri instead of Geralt. Um, how fucking phenomenal would it be if that whole trailer was like a misdirection and you are somehow playing as Geralt and you're just seeing a cutscene from the act like later in the story?
Who knows? I mean, they could easily do that. That wouldn't be difficult at all.
I don't know. It just seems to me that so many people who talk about entertainment prejudge everything. And they take one little aspect of something that they themselves might not like and ascribe it to the whole project.
That I think it has to do with the fact that a lot of people think they have a voice and everyone needs to hear their voice as well, because that's what the internet is
I'm not gonna,
nowadays.
I'm not gonna say anything
Everyone
because
has an
we kind
opinion.
of think that ourselves.
Oh, sure, but like we don't ascribe to say, but we're better than everyone else, and you should only listen
Yeah,
to us. We never say that. In fact, we continually say, hey, check out other people as well, and check out their views. Like,
yeah.
compare what's different.
And I'm again, that's another. I think we're a little ways off from it, but I'm kind of looking forward to The Witcher 4. The Witcher 3 was great. It was fun. Um, so I'm kind of looking forward to playing that and definitely seeing more of it as we get closer. I'm sure there'll be more trailers that come out and we'll see some gameplay footage, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it.
Hell, even
I
the little bit of gameplay
my
we saw looks crisp as fuck.
my take. Well, it should. I mean, it's new gen graphics. I mean, I would expect it to look good if nothing else. Even if the
Wait, did we
story is
see
shit,
gameplay?
I don't remember. I don't think there was any
Oh,
gameplay
wait.
in the trailer. I think it was all like cutscene type stuff.
Oh, yeah, it might have been just cinematic
I
footage. I
can't
might be thinking of
remember.
something else.
I cannot remember if they said in that trailer whether it was rendered in game or not.
Oh, they did that with 3? Okay. I
Um,
think he's talking about the switch up.
yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what it's like. I don't understand why it's so. Well, I do understand because these people that do all this shit have an audience they need to placate to, and they're expecting them to be like. "Rah, rah, 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 rah."
Yeah.
But
Angry
anyway,
reactionary culture.
old man yells at cloud. That's how I feel sometimes when I criticize modern Star Trek. I'm like an old man yelling at a cloud.
But you're not
uh,
criticizing nothing. You have specific things to criticize.
yeah, I'm not criticizing the fact it exists. I'm criticizing the fact that it is terribly executed. Um, but anyway, I
You're
think we'll
not
go ahead and end it there. We've been
criticizing the fact that there's, why is there brown women in my Star Trek? How dare they?
no, I am not. Not at
Thank
all.
God.
My issue with New Trek is not the fact that there's like, female main characters or people of color main characters. That's not my problem at all. My problem is it's poorly written, which
Which
is
is
two
a
very
whole
different
nother
things.
issue. Yeah.
Two very different things. Um, yeah, I think that's a good place to end it. It is kind of a downer as that is. We've been going for about 2.5 hours now.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, thank you everyone for stopping by to watch us. We hope you had a great time, even though it was just the two of us. I think we did a good job, just the two of us.
I really hope y'all enjoyed it.
Um, but yeah, but don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you like what you saw and want to see more. Like I said at the beginning of this, our big goal for this year is to get to 1,000 subscribers or one of our big goals is to get to 1,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. So I hope you will help us with that. Share it all with your friends. Let everyone know we do this stuff. We have a brand new episode of the podcast every single week. We do streams like this every month. We also do monthly dumps, where we talk about all the stuff we've been watching. We do a whole bunch of stuff. And like I said earlier as well, new game streams are coming soon as I get my new PC built, which should be sometime this weekend. So expect new streams perhaps next week. Check our Discord server when those are scheduled, especially if it's games that you can join us for. Also check down below where you can find links to all the stuff Anime Club After Dark does. We also have a link to our merch store down there where you can help us out that way if you want to. With that being said, I have been your host, Alex, and we will see you next time. Say goodnight, Shinoda.
Good night. Thank you for joining. Play games. Enjoy yourself.
Play games. Do crime. I'm just kidding. Don't do in Minecraft.
Don't do crime. Especially nowadays, don't do crime.
Don't do crimes. But do them in Minecraft. Launder money in Minecraft.
Oh,
Good night,
that's
everybody.
bad. Goodbye.